Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay. What's in the Piklopedia? Start with this. It should just be the final boss. Scrambled Titan Dweevil. Cooking with Louie! Oh, we have a whole bunch of shit to look at. Okay, we might actually have enough time to fill up the rest of the stream, which is an hour. We still have an hour, 20 more minutes, but, okay. Oh, Louie made me write for this thing during our trip home, despite me telling him I'd rather not. I don't appreciate having to ride home in the cargo hold while he pilots my ship home. Anyway, the scrambled version of the Titan Dweevil is a master of trickery. Its weapons all have bizarre effects that don't act like they look. As well as it being able to manifest terrain based on the memories of what it's holding on to. Oh, that's cool. So that explains it. I like that idea. That's kind of basically what I figured was going on. It's cool. In our case, me. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Some things are best kept a secret. Oh, a secret, huh? You've collected the Louie's Pick series. These are some of the tastiest snacks there are. You've collected the Steel Jaw series. I bet these taste great. If only I could eat them. Okay, he's Tanaka now. He was Pegasus, but he's turned into Tanaka. You've collected the Greasy Grub set. So much flavor, but not exactly healthy. Tanaka is a salesman, so it's kind of fitting. You've collected the Don't Eat series. Seriously, don't eat any of these. It won't end well. You've collected the Barely Edible set. I guess I would eat these before my legs. Quote-alling Olimar. That's great. You've collected the Eating Utensil series. You can't eat a steak without a fork and knife. And a gamepad controller. And a key. And a feather. And a hammer. And a coin. You've collected the Kitchen Appliance set. Loads of gadgets to help make cooking a breeze. You've collected the Tabletop series. Restaurants will buy these tables by the hull load. Oh, I get it, because everything's small. Or no, big. Anyways, you've collected the Probably Useless series. I've got to sell these knickknacks somehow. How dare you classify the fucking companion cube as useless? You've got the Disgusting series. These snacks will surprise guests, but it won't be delightful. You've collected the... Oh, Mammoth Killer cheered 82 bits. Thank you for the bits. Oh yeah, treasure stash. Whole bunch of treasure. You can never go wrong with a quick and simple snack. Is that it? Oh, it's over. Okay. Alright, let's start. Okay. Let's get all the new ones. Then we're gonna look at all of Louie's treasures, which we haven't seen yet. And then we'll do all of Louie's cooking. Louie's cooking on the monsters is possibly my favorite thing of all of Pikmin 2. And that's not even a joke. I love it. At least in vanilla. We'll see if the 251 hack lives up to expectations. Okay. So, freshly preserved strip. This plank of meat must have come off a creature of some kind. But what? DNA scans of it show a creature that is nothing like anything we know. Could this be the remains of an ancient beast that have been preserved by the depths of these caves? Right, because time is weird. That would make sense. Mammoth Killer. I don't know why. I always look at that and I want to say Ma, like mom. Like, oh, hey, Ma. And then Moth, like the moth. Like the mom's moth. Moth Mom Killer is what I see when I look at that name. But I'm like, no, it's Mammoth. But for some reason, I think Mom Moth. Anyways, the depths of these caves. Only time will tell. We can learn from this rod of meat. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this is new. Ship Knight Shell. On our last journey, Olimar named this object after himself without even thinking of me. Well, this time I got my payback. This is truly the best out of any of the treasures we found on the journey. No, not just for the name. Okay, maybe just for the name. Ship Knight. Ship. Oh, I get it, because his name is Ship. His name is just Ship. Does he have another name? What is the name of the ship in this game? I know that the SS Dolphin was the first game's ship, and then the Drake is the third game's ship. What is the name of the ship in this game? Does it have a name? I don't think I know it if it does. Invulnerable Barricade. The raw strength of this barrier is simply unmatched. Even my own hull isn't this durable. Perhaps the president can get some studies done on this can so we can learn how to replicate it and make me just as tough. I mean, I think your golden form would be pretty tough, unless the goal is fake gold. Glee Spinner Deluxe. To date, we journeyed through a truly scary cave. This large device is one of many things we found in it. It has all sorts of dials and switches on it. What of particular note is the spinning knob on it. So much fun. Spin, spin, spin. Louie has been playing with this thing all day. It's starting to get somewhat worrying. If he spins too much, he'll get dizzy and then throw up all the food he's been eating. And then we can find out that he was the true culprit of eating the golden peck carrots. Reminiscent Token. The cylinder of energy was the first item we found on our first journey here. Ah, the glory days. Everything was so much simpler back then. This time we found it again, but there was nothing remarkable about it. Just one of several trinkets we found in a deep and scary cave. We found so many different treasures at this point, it's getting difficult to describe them all. Turbocharger. Some emblems can tell you all about what they are without even having to read its language. For example, this is clearly a lightning bolt pattern. This badge may have once allowed the holder to harness the power of lightning. You would think so. Could this have been the weapon of an ancient god? You would think that this gives you the power of lightning. You really would. That's what I thought when I first saw this. But no, once you play Metroid, or even play Smash Brothers and get the item, it makes you spin better. It lets you be a spinny ball. That's what this does. But the lightning bolt, I think, represents an attack because it's screw attack. So maybe the lightning bolt is representing the, it's like an electrical attack, like the electricity. Maybe electricity is what charges you to spin into a ball that also attacks, so it's spinning in some sort of way. It's a circular shape at least, so it is a ball. Super Stick Donut. This large pastry looks absurdly delicious at first. Closer inspection reveals it isn't edible. However, Louie may or may not have been extremely upset by this. I won't clarify on that any further. Fortified Smokestack. What a colorful tower. I suspect it was once a powerful smokestack used in a factory. It's strange to imagine a factory being so colorful. What could the buildings of this planet once have looked like? What is this again? It's just like a cone that is colorful? Like a road cone? I don't know if I know what this is. If it's not a road cone. If it is a road cone, that is weird that it's colored like this. Glimmery Utensil. This shiny utensil was surely the royal staff of an ancient king. Anyone who wields it has the power to rule this entire world. Might be best to not let Louie hold it. This might not end well for anyone. Ambiguous bowling pin. How dare you call this a bowling pin? Some things in the world are just inexplicable. This bowling pin, for example. What is it? My scans are little help with this. Are they faulty? No, surely not. Yet I still don't understand what this bowling pin is for. What if it's actually alive? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Into the trash fire it goes. What? That's what you did in the Portal game, I believe. You threw in the trash fire? I believe, though, there was an achievement if you caught it and saved it from the trash fire. I think, in Portal 2, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know, something like that. Okay, now all these things. Surprisingly, they're over in the mid-100s instead of at the end. Maybe it's because they're the last treasures from the original game? That might be it. Fume Cannon. This scorching mechanism was once used by a monstrous scrambled Titan Dweevil. The apparatus spews hot jets of flame. Of course, it's not actually the fire that is the problem. The toxic smoke fumes it makes are the real Oh, it explains what it does. That's cool. It spews out fire, but the fire is non-lethal. But the smoke is what does the poison. That's cool. Is it going to explain the others too? Paralysis Bomb. This fiendish component was used by the scrambled Titan Dweevil. While it appears to spray plain old toxic gas, the gas is actually charged with paralysis-inducing chemicals, enough to kill small creatures on contact. Scalding Pump. The Savage Water Pump was just one of many weapons wielded by the Scrambled Titan Dweevil. This pump is capable of spraying jets of hyper-pressurized water. Yet the water alone isn't bad. The real problem is that the water it sprays is extremely hot and burns Pikmin on contact. Okay, there's some sense to that. Suffocation Therapist. This shocker was one of several weapons wielded by the terrible Scrambled Titan Dweevil. While it appears to shock Pikmin with lightning, the shock actually suffocates Pikmin, making them unable to breathe. Oh, okay, so it's not water, it just takes away their breath, but the blue Pikmin are okay with it? That seems weird. Probably less of a hazard than electricity in practice. Potential companion. What is the meaning behind this massive metallic cargo bay? Something about its design reminds me of an interplanetary spaceship like myself. Could we not be alone? Could we not be alone? Not a comfortable thought. Could. Performance Stadium. This stadium is great for making a big performance. Bands all over Hokotate will be begging to have this for their shows. I've heard Louie mention making a band before. I'm not sure if he would actually go through with that knowing him. Questionable dinner table, especially if it explodes. At first glance, this makes a great table to eat at. However, my scans have shown large amounts of potentially explosive substances hidden within it. Feel free to eat at this table. Just make sure to not make any sudden movements. That's not the greatest dinner table. Not the greatest. Some slight issues. State of discomfort. Oh, stare of discomfort. State would work too. This massive head is bizarre. Still, it is quite silent. Its quiet silence can be relaxing. I wish Louie could learn from this face. I may be a computer, but he still manages to make me annoyed. Louie actually really doesn't like the look of this face. What if I use it to intimidate him when he's being a pain? Yes, of course. Okay, that's one thing you can do. Immortal Mastermind. It me! Hello, I'm in this picture and I don't like it. I'm not okay with it. Oh! We did it! We recovered Olimar and he somehow survived! To be honest, it doesn't make sense for him to seem so healthy after being alone all this time. I have no guess as to what he has been eating. Olimar doesn't want to talk very much about the whole event, so we can't get much information. Still, he wants us to address him as the Immortal Mastermind from now on. I guess that means he was in control all along. Or something. that's the theory with Pikmin2 Vanilla, so I guess this one is just Olimar Strikes Back. Prehistoric delicacy. This ancient stone of some sort is actually apparently edible, at least according to Louie, that is. Sometimes I'm not sure if I should trust him as easily as I do. Oh, how I wish I could taste this myself. Canned Earthquake. What could be hidden within this metal box? I can't say for sure. What's in the box? What? I can't say for sure, but I suspect opening it could cause disastrous consequences. It doesn't look like a box. That's not the shape of a box. A box is like square and stuff. I was about to say squarical. I mean cubical. Could cause disastrous consequences. It may be best if we keep the contents here contained, at least until we get back home again. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Okay, so starting at number 1, Louie has a pitch for like everything. Some of them we've seen, some of them we haven't. This one we definitely haven't seen because it's new. This lump of dough is deceiving in its mountains of flavor and taste. While it alone has little to offer, it's just asking for some condiments and seasoning to become a masterpiece. It's a canvas just waiting to be painted, and you are the artist. Salted Swirl. Out of all the items we have to sell, this one gets my personal approval as the best. Seriously, I would have at least 10 of these on hand at all times. I can't recommend this salted snack enough. Buy now before they're all gone, because I'll have eaten them. Seed of Girth. You know what they say, bigger is always better. This enormous berry is a great example of that fact. It looks down on all the minor snacks of the world, knowing how much more powerful it is compared to them all. Powerful? Is it good for food to be powerful? I just don't want the food kicking my ass. Unidentified friend. I love the name of this one.
While this saucer might appear somewhat bizarre, I can assure it is only a trick. The truth is, these creatures...
Creatures? I don't think this is a creature.
...are so tasty that they were nearly hunted to extinction.
Eggs are not friends. They're food.
Luckily, they were able to quickly adapt this new appearance to help ward off predators. But don't let it trick you. Buy it now and experience pure deliciousness.
So, we're gonna make it go extinct, is what you're saying? You want the egg people to go extinct? How dare you? Eternal sustenance.
This gourmet mastery of food should be worshipped. We are not worthy of its legendary flavor. Well, maybe I am. But all you peasants sure aren't. I mean, buy now! Buy one, get one 50% off! Buy one, get the other 50% off! Oh.
Tanaka's voice actually works really well for him. Preserved fresh flesh strip.
A pure slab of meat this delicious is unbelievable! Yet, whether you believe or not, here it is! Eat now and take your taste buds on a journey they will never forget.
Real talk, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is getting a Piklopedia, and that I think is the main reason I actually bothered to buy it. I know it's got a prologue and epilogue, and those excite me, but it's the freaking Piklopedia, man. I love the Piklopedia.
Take your taste buds on a journey they never forget.
I already said that. I think I already said that. Corrosive Quencher.
While the contents of this...
How's my stream/recording doing? No drop frames. Great job. Good job, OBS. Good job, Internet.
While the contents of this drink are deceptively tasty, be warned about the effects that long-term drinking of this liquid will have on your teeth.
Oh, I've already read these. Next. Aqua Colorizer.
This goo has a unique flavor. There's plenty of people out there who aren't afraid to try the world's strangest foods. If that is you, what are you doing?
Yep, I've already read all these. Haunted Gourd.
This massive gourd seems to have been simply mutilated. Its tasty seeds are completely gone, leaving a mere shell of its former self. A shame, really. But could you be the first to find a new use for this husk of former vegetable?
As a jack-o'-lantern, but sure. Calcified Barricade.
This large rock-like shell seems to have once held delicious meat within. Today, there is little left to see. Perhaps scientists on Hokotate will use the DNA in this shell to reconstruct the ancient creature. I can only hope that they succeed. For the good of culinary masters across Hokotate, they must...
Hokotate? I'm just gonna go back and forth. I used to only say Hokotate, but now the real name Hokotate is in my mind, so now I just go back and forth. Also, I know Japanese better, so I know Hokotate makes sense. When I first heard that it was called Hokotate, I'm like, that's a stupid name! But then when I learned Japanese, I'm like, oh, that is exactly what it would be called, assuming they kept the name and didn't bother translating it, which I guess they didn't from the Japanese version. Because with an English pronunciation, if you're speaking English, that should totally be Hokotate. But it's a Japanese word, so it's Hokotate, which makes sense. Anyways,
they must!
Elusive Bounty.
No matter what I try to do, I can't get this jar to open. Could you be the one to succeed where I failed? I worry that whatever food is in this has spoiled now. But don't think about that, just think about what could possibly be within.
Well, some foods can stay for a long time.
I can't get this jar open, but if you're strong and buy this, you could get a worthy meal out of it. I like that as a pitch. It's great. I have no idea what's inside. It's a loot box. But don't think about that. Just think about what could possibly be within waiting for you to eat. Food loot.
Scorched Perennial.
My first thought with this was that since it's a plant, I should try to treat it like one in my cooking. However, that proved to be a bad idea. It turns out that this plant is best eaten raw. Just have a fire extinguisher ready at all times.
Calcium Carton.
While this carton once held a wholesome drink filled to the brim with calcium, it seems to be of little use today. It's a shame, really. I had our trusted computer do some scans on it, and it appears to have been very healthy while still being impossibly delicious. What could its secrets have been?
2%. That's what it's where. It's 2%. They're the hardest to get. That's why they're in the milk. That's a reference to a show I started watching fairly recently, which is why it's on my mind. If I didn't start watching it recently, watching it, I probably wouldn't have it on my mind. Joyful Ovoid.
This chocolate egg hidden within a synthetic shell has the ability to make anyone feel happy. How, you ask? That's what we in the food business call a magician's secret.
Okay, I think I've already read this one. Right, yeah, because what's better than delicious and simple? 3-ball? Yeah, I've already read all these. Okay. This I definitely haven't read. Shipknight Shell.
In ancient times, this beast once roamed the planet. Its meat was the best food on the whole planet. You have no proof of that. Today, all we have is a fossil. I hope you don't mind eating rocks.
Six-sided tire. Of course, they make Louie the salesman. He sells everything from a foodie's perspective.
This may or may not actually be edible, but who cares? It's shaped like a pastry. It surely tastes like one too. Don't worry about how to eat it. That's an issue that comes later on after you purchase. Thank you.
Camouflaged battleship.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not sure how this is edible. But don't lose hope. My trusty ship told me that it would gladly eat this, if it could. Surely someone out there would eat this. Could that be you? Buy now while it's 95% off, because I have no idea freaking how to sell this to you. Come on, someone has to be this gullible. Wait, I'm still writing? That's fucking great. I love it. I love the character that probably the best thing about the 251 hack 2 is these writings. The Olimar ones are a little lazier, I'd say, because they're not as scientific, and I liked the scientific aspect on top of the more casual that you got from Louie's, but they kind of just made Olimar casual too, which they're not bad, it's just they're not as flavorfully interesting. Louie's are still, these are flavorfully interesting in a new, unique way, and I like that. They still feel Louie-ish. They feel how Louie would try to sell all this stuff. So I like it. Anyways, reinforced guard. You can never have enough donuts, whether they're actually made of dough or metal. That doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if you believe.
Wait, what? Not if you believe? Not? Do you mean not if you believe? Clap your hands if you believe? What? Oh, I understand.
Not. It doesn't matter if they're dough or not. Not if you believe. Okay.
I didn't understand. Now I understand. I had to reread that. Energized dynamo.
The contents of this metal unit could energize anyone who eats it for weeks. Actually, accessing the held contents is no easy task. And make sure to watch out for the acid.
You just freaking eat anything, don't you, Louie? I'm sure there's some other freaks out there like you on Hokotate who eat anything as well. Corroded clockworks.
So many metal donuts to eat in so little time. Which one to get? Some say that your choice says a lot about you. That's great.
Mechanized surfboard.
This tasty stick tastes best when dipped in the proper sauce. It goes great with salsa. How about just have the salsa and skip the metal?
Sleek cannon.
You can never go wrong with some tasty scrap metal. Well, my ship said that anyway.
I guess the ship eats metal. Does it eat it all? Maybe it wishes it did. Nostalgic badge.
This disc is a great start to a pizza. Just put some sauce and cheese and eat up. Don't mind the metal at all.
Invulnerable barricade.
I know it sounds absurd, but there is some really good flavor in this. Its toughness is immense, so you just better have some powerful jaws.
What is this again? Is this like a drug? What is this? What's in here? Is it a food? Is it not meant to be a food? I don't know what this is. I think I'm missing a joke. Gamma cog.
Despite its appearance, this donut actually may taste great. Maybe. If you want to experience its flavor, you better invest in some hydraulic-powered jaws. For now, just lick it and experience some of the flavor.
Orb of affection.
Little orbs like these make great scenic decorations. Get the whole set of them. Studies show that yellow is a good tasting color, so having these with your food will automatically taste better. That's how colors work. Louie.
Orb of confusion.
Blue is a common color in kitchens, and that's for a good reason. Buy now and make your kitchen calm and inviting, like any kitchen should be.
Isn't blue also typically, you know, a sad color? Marbleized intellect.
What's better than small marbles for decorating kitchens? Giant marbles!
Marbleized excellence.
Having this marble in your kitchen will inspire you with the power to cook without end. Great for chefs out there cooking all day. You know, that have an unhealthy work cycle. Great for them! To continue their unhealthiness.
Hallucination.
Look into this blue hue of its purple. Of this orb, and it can reveal all of your cooking related questions. Truly a wonderful thing to have in your kitchen. It's purple. Fool's diamond. The sparkling gemstone could turn any kitchen from a piece of junk to top of the line in an instant. You're probably wondering why it isn't more money. The truth is, it's a fake! But that's not important. No one else has to know.
If it's a fake, you could charge some more for it if they don't know, if the person buying from you doesn't know, maybe. How does this relate to food? Oh, turn any kitchen. I understand. Okay, it's always got to relate back to the kitchen at least, if not to food. Wondrous reflector.
Old Louie here knows all about what the kids are into, and this, they can't get enough. How one of these and the kids won't be able to resist your food. It really is that simple.
Always has tie in the food, at least in some small way. Ball of Destiny.
Very few can comprehend the meaning of this magical orb. Even I can't, but can you? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. Fucking buy it, bitch!
Fortunate placemat.
Use this tablecloth and anyone who eats with it will instantly become luckier. Isn't that neat? Such a colorful object. Maybe it will make your guests have more colorful palettes.
Colorful palettes? We need to start coloring our food. Food coloring. That's a thing. Crystallized illuminator.
This light is absurdly strong, yet still manages to have a nice and soothing yellow glow.
Ooh. Good. I much prefer yellow color temperature light bulbs to white color temperature, if I'm being honest. Yellow for the win.
A great way to improve the mood of at your dinners.
Wax monument.
This amount of wax could do great things for restaurants all around the world. This amount of wax could make thousands of candles. I'll not stop until I see a candle at every dinner table there is. Even when it's perfectly light out and there's no lights needed.
Greasy trash bag.
While this box may be empty now, it leaves plenty of clues behind. I can only guess that the food it held was unbelievably tasty. And if we're lucky, we may just be able to retrieve its genetic makeup using what we have left. Don't lose hope yet, my fellow flavor fanatics. I don't know why you'd want to buy this box, though. But maybe you could be the scientist, or maybe just for resale value if, you know, we do figure it out.
Not really sure what his pitch there was. Starch storage.
Sometimes you just can't go wrong with a good old amount of starch, so dig in.
Glee Spinner Deluxe.
Now, I can't say for sure why, but this toy has lots of greasy residue left on it.
It's probably people playing their games after eating food when they shouldn't have been.
Somehow, it manages to be quite tasty. Still, something seems off with it. This may only be suitable for the more brave eaters out there.
Or maybe it's not food grease, and it's just game grease from getting rusted. I don't know. Mysterious sack.
For all you grease lovers out there, this massive sack of chips was made for you. Just be careful not to eat them all at once.
It's not a great...
That's a pretty lame pitch. I mean, it's so generic. Give me something more interesting. Crimson Delicious. Such a large veggie with this, you could make enough smoothies to feed an army. I could likely go through it in a day, but that's besides the point. What's one army to a Louie?
Delectable geode.
A big round ball of trickery. This rock-like ball is actually delicious. This fruit is large enough to make several salads with, and I can't recommend doing that enough.
Rug of Feasts.
This mat just screams eating like royalty. Buy it and everyone will know just how much of a master chef you are.
Steel mattress.
A receptacle of food that never runs out? Impossible. I couldn't believe the idea that this could never run out of food. And I was right. It turns out Olimar just made all that up. You should still buy it anyway, though, because, you know, tell your friend it and try to sell it to him, and they'll be gullible. They could be all gullible like I was. Nutrient stockpile.
The ultimate resale gift.
This must be the largest food storage unit we've found yet. It's truly inspiring. With this, we could end world hunger in an instant. Or you could always use it for more selfish reasons.
Nut of bulk. The man nut.
You can't beat the sheer
You're missing a thing. That you can't is supposed to have a thing.
Anyway, you can't beat the sheer massive amount of food this massive nut has to massively offer. Despite its massive looks, it's massively, surprisingly, massively tasty.
Despite its looks, I think it looks great. It's highly attractive. Code of protection.
This sprout may grow into something delicious. Sadly, it looks like...
Okay, I've read all these. Dimensional wormhole.
69. They say time capsules are the best way to keep memories forever and ever. Who is they, you ask? Good question, but the answer isn't important. Just get it and don't think about those silly questions.
This doesn't relate to food. You cheater! I guess you could have memories of eating good food. Pointer of dreams.
Stars are scientifically proven to be the best way to have a successful date, so get yourself one of these right away and become the dinner date master. Okay.
Spirit of flames.
An item with the power to warm the hearts of literally anyone you give it to. What a great idea for a romantic gift.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, we've gone through a lot of these and we're not even at 100 something yet. And then there's all of Louie's fucking Piklopedia ones. Oh. I don't even know if I want to do... I might leave off Louie's Piklopedia ones for a little bit. Come back and do those, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a weekend stream. I normally don't stream on the weekend. But I might find time and just do a weekend, not the treasures, but the monsters, all of Louie's. Just a quick little thingamajigger. Because I don't know if I'm going to want to do them after I'm finished all these treasures. Let alone if I have time. I think I'll have time, but, like, I don't know if I'd want to. Especially if I keep doing this voice. And I have to! It's Tanaka! He's gotta do the voice! Ah! Natural beauty like this can't be topped. A must-have for interior decorators everywhere. Stop not relating it to food. Everything has to relate to food. How dare you? Essence of heartbreak. Not all relationships will end happily, but that's okay! This symbol is here for you! Essence of hope. Even in the roughest of times, one can never lose their hope. This is like one of those supportive, cat boosters. Cat posters. Oh. Only better! It's a jewel! And you could, like, put it on a cat poster, and then have a cat poster with a shiny jewel on it! It's great! Offensive punching bag. This doll works great as a date testing dummy. Worried about your first date being a disaster? This doll is for you! Also works for those who can't find love, but want to pretend that they have, if you're part of that market. But it's an offensive punching bag. Don't you just want to hit it? Why would you want to date it? Exercise disc. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Believe it or not, I'm walking on water. The very plate you use for your date can have a large impact on its success. That's right, and that's why purchasing this plate would be a must. Definitely 100%, I'm not making that up. Romantic platter. Using this plate may have the power to make anyone you give it to fall in love. The word may is there since it isn't actually tested. Don't worry, it'll surely work. Why wouldn't it? Why would I lie? Unknown symbol. While most plates have a clear and well-known use, the same doesn't go for this one. What's its true purpose? Who knows? Could you be the one to find out? That's a great pitch. Louie, I think, has learned... the ship has taught him well. He might have to connect everything to food, but he does it well. Oversized bling. While this jewelry might be a bit big to actually wear like the normal kind, don't underestimate the power of this golden nugget. Solid gold is the best way to make you look as rich as you are. It doesn't relate to food. Everything has to relate to food. Everyone that doesn't relate to food is lame and I hate it. Partial artifaction. Partial artifaction? Partial artichoke. Artifaction. The art of affection. What a nice gift. Sure, it's incomplete and all, but does that really matter? Clearly the issue here is you must buy 4 of them. 5 in some games. Modern problems require modern solutions. Is it just 5 in Twilight Princess? Is there any other Zeldas in 5? Tell me in the comments if I didn't look it up, which I probably didn't, because I don't think I care enough. Modern problems. What modern problems? Not having the whole full... Okay. You have to buy all the pieces individually, because that's how they have to get you. You can't just buy one toy. You have to buy the 4 toys that combine into the bigger toy, because the frickin' capitalism these days. Shipless bottle. A large bottle like this is just what you need at your festive dinner to make it a true success. Buy now and the woman will be crowding you. You seem to be really going for the hopeless romantic with these pitches, not just the food lover. When you don't go for the foodie, you go for the romantic. Are you a romantic? You know, we know Olimar's got a significant other. We don't know about Louie. He probably is lacking one, which is why he probably knows what that market likes and is able to take advantage of it because he has been there. Potent pummeler. Warning! Do not, under any circumstances, consume this leaf! The effects it will have on your body are bad. I'd rather not talk about it. You should still buy it though, it's good to look at. Just don't eat it. Edge of destruction. The absurdly sharp blade of this disc can cut through anything, including you, so don't eat it! You know, at least he's giving warning labels. Someone else can do the pitches for these. Artistic visionary. While this tube looked like a tasty condiment at first, I can assure you that it is not. It's quite a shame, but like much of life, it can't be perfect. Don't eat it. They should all end with don't eat it, all of these ones. Toxic bird bath. The poison levels in this fungus are off the charts. Eating any part of it would not end well. Do with this information what you will. By which I mean don't eat it. They should all have don't eat it. The joke was ruined. Because the first two both have don't eat it, right? Oh, never mind. They don't. Only the second one does. I lied. But they should all have don't eat it. Because I say so. Also, come on. If it's a mushroom, you should be able to make some food out of this, right? You're a failure of a cook. Weekend flypaper. This donut doesn't appear edible at all, yet something has been eating it. What ate it, you ask? A question for the ages that may just never be answered.
It was you, I bet. It was you, wasn't it, Louie? I freaking bet it was. Don't lie to me.
Reminiscent token. A token of memories for us, and a renewable energy source for you. It may not be edible, but that's not an issue. If things don't always have to be edible to be sellable. Believe it or not. I don't know if I believe it, but my ship, I think, does. Fungal parasite. While this may not look like a toxic fungus at first, don't let it fool you. Its cute and friendly face is just a trick.
Look how cute and ugly that is. Oh, it's sinister looking.
To get you to eat it. What? Hey, I don't know if I think about eating toads all the time. Don't be fooled. Be the fooler. Buy now and show who's the master here. Buy now just to show that you won't eat it? Okay. Sack of fortune. Why would you want to eat this? I mean, it could be delicious, who knows, but think of what I can buy with this money. I could finally start the TV show I've wanted to have. Too bad this isn't mine to keep. I have to sell it. Wait, it's just money, though. You're selling money to make money? How does that work? I guess it's gold. You're selling the gold to make money you can spend, because gold you can't spend ever. That makes sense, I suppose. There is logic to that. Nutritious lodging. A fresh and delicious fruit at a low price may seem too good to be true. That's because it is. While it appears delicious, it's really not. Feel free to try this yourself and see what I mean by all this. It's a house who someone lived in back in the day. Or a replica of one.
SpongeBob is real.
Familiar reactor. There's something oddly familiar about this energy block. Why is that? I can't say for sure. Buy now and feel this inexplicable nostalgia for yourself. What? Face of remorse. How would you eat the Deku mask? How would you eat the butler's son, Louie? How would you eat him? While this should make a tasty and all-nutritious snack, there is just one problem. You see, it has a bit of a curse attached. Oh, shoot. Okay. Anyone who eats it will turn into one of them like a zombie. A truly scary thought. I nearly ate it myself until my trusty ship stopped me at the last second and shaved me. For which it received a minor amount of appreciation. Just a bit, though. It doesn't like me, so I don't like it either. Oh, you should still buy this mask, though. It's cool. It looks cool. Turbocharger. Don't taste this badge unless you want your entire body to be surged with electricity. Electricity. I mean, maybe you do want that, in which case, carry on. Super stick donut. This deceiving donut has fooled me for the last time. Don't let it fool you. While it looks to be a tasty donut, it's actually made of plastic. Or maybe it's not plastic. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's not edible. You should still buy it, though. It looks cool. You can trick your friends with it. Grain grenade. As crazy as it sounds, you could actually eat this in dire situations. Just make sure you're able to consume pure wood first. I know not everyone can. Green Inferno. This vegetable is quite healthy and natural, so why is it barely edible then? The answer is that it is by far the spiciest food I have ever tasted. You'll need a whole fire extinguisher just to survive eating it. Oh, it's like green pepper. Are those hotter or not than red peppers? I forget which is hotter. Or does it depend? I don't know. I think greens are hotter? I could be lying on my butt, though. Don't quote me. Overweight parasol. While this mushroom is edible and even rather tasty, there's a catch. Every one of them you eat makes you grow bigger. Oh, they're like the Mario mushrooms. Okay, they don't like the Mario mushrooms, but I'll take it. Well, some people might actually want this. It still makes a fair warning for people who don't. You know, in case you already have a short ceiling or something, living in a home with a short ceiling, and you're already close to, maybe you're already super tall as is, and you don't want to start hitting your head on the walls as you walk through the... Anyways, nutritious nut. As hard as, well, a nut, no one wants to eat it, so it must be healthy. That's not how that works. Okay, how are you going to sell this as food? Or are you going to capture food with it? Spherical escape pod. Is this really edible? Most likely not. Sometimes things are just right on the border of being edible or not. I don't think this is on the border. Yet this bomb might just work. I thought you were going to at least say, you can use this to catch food with it. Or something. But nope, not even that. I guess because Pokemon are extinct at this point. Or it's just a replica and Pokemon never existed in the Pokemon universe. They only existed in the real universe where we had, like, pretend Pokeballs that didn't actually catch anything. But maybe far enough in the future, they could have made real Pokeballs that would catch things. And then we could use this to catch food. Or animals. You know, in the year 3021. Fortified Smokestack. Colorful food is always more edible than monochrome food. Ah, the tricks to great cooking. Still not eatable though. I'm just kidding. It's more edible than the monochrome version of a cone that would look like this, but less edible than actual food. Master Ball. Perfected escape pod. The mysteries of life may be continued within this very sphere contained. That is exactly why you should eat it. I see no flaws in my thinking. Rubberized cinder block. Rubber doesn't actually taste as bad as you might expect. At least, that's how I was able to convince myself this is edible. Trust me, I really did convince myself. Okay, edible umbrella. Another mushroom. It's not tasty, but in times of need, explorers need to take what they can get. Are you a brave enough explorer to survive these conditions? Because if not, eat this, I guess. Spherical satchel. Or rather, you have to be brave enough to be in these conditions to survive enough to want to eat this because you have nothing else? Spiritualized baba. These small cookies aren't all that delicious, but in a pinch it can make do. Rod of Glory. This string rod has a sort of artistic quality to it. That's some tasty water. I've always considered cooking to be a form of art. Still, this stick can only last so long before it wears away. I suppose that's pretty art-like as well. Art is an explosion! Or, that is not a good Dedar voice. Cats! Just go with that. The stirring rod. Oh, stirring rod! That's what you... I thought you said like string rod. Stirring rod makes more sense. Slicing seesaw. A metal apparatus of biblical proportions. What can't be done with this blade? You may want to keep the sharp end away from small creatures, like your children. Dual edge impaler. A double-sided lightsaber pencil. A double-ended food poking spear. Was one-ended not enough? Just what will these crazy inventors think of next? Of course, the only inventor here is the forces of nature and fate itself. Lip shiner. You know what kind of rolling pin is the best rolling pin? Pink ones! What does that have to do with food? Oh, it's a rolling pin, I understand. Oh, it's a rolling pin, I understand. Pink! I had to reread that. Yeah, rolling pin, that's a food thing, right. Cardboard sleeping bag. For those times where... it's got the Bowser... It's a match! It's got a match! You're gonna sleep with matches? For those times where you need to cook and don't have any fire, this is just what you need. I can't recommend a tool like this one enough. Even though some may be sleeping in it, and you may kill them. Oops! Portable Energizer. Sometimes you don't need the biggest power source around just to run your electronics. This miniature power cell is just what you need in these trying times. Did I mention it doubles as a heavy-duty bowling pin? Perfected lid. For when you make too much food and want to keep some stored away for later, the stealing strength of this lid could make food stay fresh forever. Decorated manhole. This cover... I assume you have to put this lid on a thing. You can't just have the lid itself. I assume you'd use this as like a plate, if anything. If it's going to be a lid, what does it go on? What do you have that's big enough? You have to make something in Hokatate? Is it already made? Decorated manhole. This cover may be heavy, but it has its uses. For example, the hole is in its center. Oh yeah! How could I not mention its strange symbols? What is their meaning? I don't know, but could you be the one to find out? Yes, for any scientists interested in looking into this. Bye now! Glimmer utensil. Of all the kitchen utensils I found on this trip, this may be the best of them. Just look at it, both great for cooking and great for eating. Eating with a spatula is kind of weird, but you do you. Is there nothing it can't do?
It can't cook with love. Because if this was the golden spatula that Davy Jones was using against SpongeBob, then he lost because he didn't use enough love or something. I don't know.
Ambiguous bowling pin.
This strange mechanism is covered in little sticks and dials, which could be helpful with cooking. Don't worry, I won't mind if you damage it. It doesn't have a heart, but it does have a personality. Intensity calculator. Oh no, my food is burnt because I couldn't tell how hot it was. If this sounds like you, get this top-of-the-line food temperature scanning device today. Never burn food again. That's a pretty good pitch, actually, for an item that actually does what you think it'd do. Well, close enough. I think normally, something like this wouldn't quite be used for that purpose, but it works because you're small people. Pulverizing drum. Sometimes pulverizing your food with a mallet is the best part. Don't hold back. Enjoy. Sometimes, I guess. Mashed potatoes.
How do you want to mash them? Just give me 5 minutes.
Ominous warning. This wooden spatula, of course you call it a spatula, makes a handy tool, despite the ominous appearance of it. Only suitable for the most fearless out there.
I eat food on ogres. I eat ogres for breakfast, or at least I eat food I made with my ogres. My ogre spatula.
Swallows a success. This food mixer has a dark secret. It's actually the remains of a vicious bird beast I fought just so you won't be able to use it. Oh, just so you would be able to use it. That makes more sense. I feel like you fought it for other reasons, but sure. Don't worry, no thank yous are needed. It's all part of the job. Ultimate opener. This staff was once held... held by the ruler of the world himself. That's right, and who's the ruler of the world? Does Hokatete have a world ruler? And now you can pretend to be ruler of the world too, but don't get all cocky and rude just because you're holding it. People don't like that. I know I tried. Circular pedestal. This mixing bowl is a great tool for any aspiring chefs. Spin it as fast as you can to really mix up your foods. Okay, how does this turn into food? Fume cannon. The heat from this device isn't very hot, but the fumes it gives can add a real smoky flavor to your dish. Also potentially poisonous. Sure, there's a little bit of toxic gas in it, but not enough to hurt you, I promise! It is enough to hurt them. Maybe not once it's fully cooked, but Paralysis Bomb. This weapon may emit chemicals of mass destruction, but it has uses like, well, you could... You know what? They use it for you to... The use is for you to decide! Scalding pump. Why need a stove to boil your food when you could use the boiling water from this pump? Boil your eggs and other foods in an instant with this state-of-the-art tech. It'll also make them soggy, but, you know, it dries them off as well with the heat, so it's a double-edged pump. Suffocation therapist. The magnetic waves sent off by this device may be suffocating, but they are also able to heat up food in an instant. Incredibly useful for when you need a quick meal. When you need a quick meal and don't have time to cook. I just looked at the time. Speaking of time, we're not even halfway through these, even skipping some of them. So continuing, Golden Dome. The state-of-the-art topper is a great way to serve your nicest dishes. Dishes? Oh, I see. You'd be using the small bell as like a as like a lid. It's a bit big for a lid, but I can understand the idea behind it, especially if it's gold. Just cover up your food and remove when you're ready to serve. It's that simple and will make your guests 200% happier. 200's a lot of percent. It's gonna have to be really good to make me that happy. Towering satellite. This antenna is engineered specifically to tune into all the best cooking channels. Uh-huh, sure it is. Did you jerry-rig it to make it work that way? Oh, let me turn the volume up a little bit on this. I like the music a lot. It's nice and soothing. The bestest cooking channels, only the bestest here at the Piklopedia station. Around the galaxy. What? I'm still waiting for the fateful day when I get my own cooking TV show. Don't worry, Louie, you just gotta believe it'll happen. You've definitely got the chops for it based on these Piklopedia entries. Especially because, you know, you cook all kinds of weird stuff that some people just wouldn't cook. So based on that alone, I think you could get a cooking show. Would you cook this? You could call it that or something. Weighted beach ball. Need an easy way to call all of your guests for dinner time? Well, this bell-like thing is perfect. just gotta hit it a bunch, because you can't really ring it the way it is, so you have to, like, smack it. You gotta get a bat and prep just to smack it, but I think if you smack it correctly, it should do the job. Imposter pastry. This stick is strong. Stick. Oh, as in it's sticky. I thought you were like, stick. This is not a stick. It's a... so strong, nothing that touches it can ever let go. That's bad. Perhaps this is concerning to you, but worry not, it will eventually lose its stick. Eventually. And then you can eat it? Don't think that's right. Also, it's tape. The whole point is for it to stick. Metallic bobsled. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's... right, okay. This table-like object has built-in electrical power on top of already being a handy place to eat, of course. Everything's a place to eat. You could say it's a win-win. It's a bobsled, has electrical power, and is a table. It's great. Rusted odd bygone. This robotic-like tool can fire heated infrared beams from its eyes. That could be used to heat up food, which is an incredible way to cook food. Try it out yourself, of course. Entertainment masterwork. Beeps and buttons are only a distraction, but this game is eternal. Beeps and buttons? I mean, the buttons you'd press. The beeps, though, are they coming out of your mouth or the machine? Because you'd think either they both come from the machine or both come from you. But you're giving it a half and half. But this game is eternal. What limits are there to the fun you can have while waiting for food to cook? The game of waiting for food. I would think, Louie, someone like you be impatient. Maybe only not impatient if it's for food. But I think you're very impatient for food. Maybe not for cooking food, though. Because you know good cooking takes time? So, of course, they're riffing on Game & Watch. Or are they riffing on the 30th anniversary Mario Game & Watch game? Attractive U-bend. Only the most elite chefs can use the very essence of electromagnetism. Only the most elite chefs. I'm too early in the day. I'm too awake. I'm not too awake. I'm too tired. Early in the day, tired for me to be wording this. Yes. Only the most elite chefs can use the very essence of electromagnetism. That's a tongue twister. Electromagnetism. Only the most elite chefs can use the very essence of electromagnetism itself in their cooking. Are you a good enough chef to be worthy of this item and saying that word without screwing it up? Electromagnetism. Just cheat a little bit and say electromagnetism. That makes it much better. Wait. Electromagnetism. That's true. I kept saying electromagnetism. It's not electromagnetism. I was making it harder than it had to be. It's electromagnetism. That's easier. That's much easier. Electromagnetism. That doesn't sound right, though. I feel like it should be electromagnetism. Why do I think that? I do. I think it should be electromagnetism, but it's very clearly electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. That's what it is. Electromagnetism. I'm emphasizing the wrong parts. I keep wanting to speed out the first part of the word first, and then I get lax when I get to the end of the word, but that's not how this word works. Magnetism. It's not. So it'd be electromagnetism, not electromagnetism, because that's what screws it up. The very essence of electromagnetism. Nope, I did it again. Magnetism. Why do I keep doing that? I know why I keep doing it. Only the most elite chefs can use the very essence of electromagnetism. Nope. Electromagnetism. I have to get faster and I get further in the word. It's not electromagnetism, it's electromagnetism. Use the very essence of electromagnet. It's because using this voice, I want to speed out the early bits of the words and lax on the later words. It's weird. Electromagnetism. The very essence of electromagnetism. Talking slowly as Tanaka/Louie is weird. Only the most elite chefs can use the very essence of electromagnetism. I barely managed to do that. I had to try hard. Wonder pump. Sometimes a good old faucet is what you need to cook. While it's simple, plenty of people need it. You might as well get the best one money can buy. Is Flood the best one? Oh wow. I'm sure EGAD must be delighted.
You know, seeing EGAT interact with his Wonder Pump would be interesting, but... Potential companion. Potential. Not definite, only potentially. Has to cook well for it to be definite.
Upon opening this part's only hatch, you'll find is a room full of useful features. It's like a portable kitchen as well as many other things. How many other things?
What is this exactly? I don't think I know what this is. It's got like a plus sign on it. Is that meant to be like a medical thing? I don't recognize the look of it. Maybe it's some kind of medical thing I'm not familiar with. The plus sign makes me think magnetical. Magnetical? I'm doing it again. Medical. I'm bringing back the magnetism. I can say magnetism just fine, but when I add electro, it's like electromagnetism. No, electromagnetism. It's also the voice that's doing it, but interesting. So just a lot of stuff in there, including food? Don't think I know what that is yet. I still don't think I know.
Multi-man bathtub. Oh, it's so great. Fill this unit with water, possibly other liquids, and carefully pour out of its holes onto your food.
That's an interesting idea, but if you pour into it, wouldn't it spill out the holes naturally?
Makes a great gravy boat.
I guess, if you're, like, careful about it. As long as you don't fill it up too high from the start, maybe? Robot repellent.
Computers everywhere despise it, but it has useful cooking abilities anyway. Just keep it away from any other electronics you may have on hand.
Yeah, because that's funny.
It's great for cooking, but, you know, it'll mess with the other things that are also good for cooking, so, maybe you shouldn't use it.
Blaring amplifier.
Loud is good. That is all.
Some people like listening to music while they cook, and for that, there's this. Director of Riches. Oh, it does say director, but this, you first said you detector, so I'm like, oh no, did I screw up? And it actually says detector? No, this definitely says director. Well, I guess you can be directed in the right direction, which you're detecting the direction with your detector that's detecting the direction, as long as it's not unerection.
This detector can sense if your food will be delicious or not. A great tool for learning cooks who aren't sure if what they made is good or not.
You could also, you know, try it yourself by eating it. Also, wait a second. This is the love tester. Actually, maybe it could detect erections. Although, that might be more lust than love. Depends. I am chewing on food I ate earlier. Cylindrical chimney.
Fun fact, this large chimney will instantly cook anything you fire out of it instantly. You said instantly twice. Sounds useful, but the catch is that the food will be completely burnt. It's okay, burnt food can taste good too, occasionally.
I think the real catch is that, it, like, wherever you're firing it, you gotta make sure you catch it. Because if you don't, it'll probably, like, smush or land in some place you don't want it to. I think that's the real harder part, not the burnt part. But, still, that could be useful sometimes. What's this doing here? Right. It's good for cooks who aren't sure, or good for lovers who aren't sure.
Buoyant bobber. The perfect tool for knowing.
Magnetism. That almost makes sense now. Almost? Not quite. I was only repeating part of the word, no, not the whole thing. Part of the word, though.
The perfect tool for knowing if your water is buoyant or not. So what if that's never something you're asking? Stop thinking about yourself. There are plenty of people who need this.
What? Well, if you're theoretically giving this pitch to everyone, then that means nobody needs it. Louie, you're the person who doesn't need it. You gotta think about what other people would want. You can't just think about the food aspect. Or if you're gonna think about the food aspect, be more clever. I guess there really is no food aspect here. Even you realize that this is much better for water stuffs. Weighted apparatus.
A massive hunk of solid steel. While it is little help now, imagine what a skilled craftsman could do with it. The number of tools we could create, especially for cooking, is unimaginable. But I can probably imagine something. So let's not waste time imagining when it's unimaginable and just get to working. Eternal Timekeeper. After getting a tool like this, it becomes literally impossible to go back to not having it. Use it to know exactly how long your food needs to cook. It's literally impossible to go back to not having it. Well, that means if they don't have it, they might not want it. So that they're not forced to want it all the time. That's always the worst thing about, getting stuff like this, because he's kind of true to an extent, is that once you get something like this, going back to not, for just a lot of things in life, not having it, you could be fine, but then once you have a thing, and then going without it after you having it, can be really rough for just lots of parts of life. It's funny how the human psyche works. Use it to know exactly how long your food needs to cook. Did I mention it's actually an eternal deity of time itself? You can even rewind time with it. Yeah! Flame tablet. Well, the image of fire on it conveys heat. It convey heat? Typos. There's so many typos in this. I kind of love the typos, to be honest. It doesn't actually have any to give. What's its use then? That's for you to find out. That's a pretty lazy pitch, but okay. He's done quite a few like that by this point. You find out for yourself. If it can't cook your food, what can it do? Well, it's a yo-yo, but I guess I can't bring that up. Perfected dinner plate. In all my years of cooking, I have never seen such an excellent platter. Buy it and eat like a real king. Inferior token. Oh, these are just going to be all a bunch of the same thing. They're all plates. This may not be the most magnificent table around, but second place is still fine. What? Perfected dinner plate. In all my years, I've never seen such an excellent platter. This may not be the most magnificent. Second place is still fine. Okay, is this going to be third place? Rotary Encryptor. For fans of the classic and vintage, this table is for you. Personally, I can't get enough of classical works like this one here. It's still a table though, still a table for eating on, just a old school table. Well, it's not really a table you would have ever eaten in the old school, but a table you would have eaten on that looks like what you would have used for phones back in the day. Obscure dial. While some people like classic rustic art, others are fans of the modern. This sleek tabletop is a glimpse into the future of our very society. Oh, so it's not old or modern, it's new. But using Roman numerals? Are you saying Roman numerals are the way of the Hocotation future? Philosopher's Counter, as opposed to the Philosopher's Stone. A deck like this one just exudes raw thought from it. A deck. It could have been a deck of cards if you squinted it in the right way. Could have been the cover for a deck, potentially. A desk like this one just exudes raw thought from it. Using it may make you question the very state of existence itself. Don't worry, it's fine to have these kinds of thoughts around this desk. It's quite a great desk after all. Four-way director. A wonderful table that was designed to seat up to 4 people with its built-in seats. That's convenient. I mean, you'd have to sit away from it, though. You couldn't really sit towards each other unless you sat like, ride style instead of the way you'd normally sit on chairs and stuff. The lack of cushions make the seats hard as rock is only a mild setback. I think it's slightly more than mild, but sure. I think that's not even the only problem. Like, you could put cushions on it, but you'd still be facing away from each other, which is normally not what you want to do. Unless you're weird eaters or you have tables all around each other. I guess it's one thing you could do if you're at like a restaurant. You could set it up for a restaurant if you can get cushions. I don't know, if you get a bunch of them and group them together so that they're all facing different tables that have other of the versions of these facing the same tables, but also face different other tables with their, you know what I mean? Passionate gyro block. This small table for 2 is very romantic. Why is it that red is such a romantic color? I won't answer that, you answer it. Half expected him to say that with how many times he keeps saying something like that. But also, this is a table? You'd have to actually, that would make it kind of romantic because the food kind of goes into the middle by default. So if you're going to eat from it, Nintendo. That's why it's romantic, because it's Nintendo. God. Because the food's going to be in the middle, so you better be dating if you want to eat from it, because the food's going to get into each other and it's going to be all germy. So unless you as one person are eating from it, and then I guess it's not a big deal. Although you could use it more as a bowl. It's a bowl plate. Harsh gyro block. The world is a rough place, and this table will remind you of that. Don't feel bad though. Sometimes you need a bit of truth in your life. What? Just because it's yellow? What's wrong with the color yellow? We started this game with yellow Pikmin. No, I guess they are the worst kind.
I mean, they're arguably the best kind in this game, vanilla, because they resist electricity, but in this newer version, red Pikmin were made stronger, purple Pikmin were made weaker, water Pikmin are still great in the water. I think arguably yellows did become the worst again. I don't know. Well, yellows I think were the best next to purples, because you could do all your fighting. Well, purples, then whites, then yellows, let's say. Because you could do all your fighting with purples, but yellows would help with the instant death. Whiting were fast, you could do all their moves. Purples were depowered and reds were repowered. Purples are still really useful though, but because purples were depowered, you want to do your fighting with some of your other Pikmin, which made all the other Pikmin a little better by comparison. Would that make whites the best Pikmin kind? Debatably, but I think it turns yellows into the worst. They go from second best to the worst? Maybe. Natural gyro block. There is no green Pikmin type though. Oops. Studies showed the color green will automatically make vegetarians like it more. Now isn't that nice? What, are you a meatitarian? So you don't know what that's like? Disliked gyro block. Even if not everyone is a fan of the color blue, I sure am, so get this now! I like it, that's why you should buy it, because I want to keep it for myself. That's why I have to charge a higher price for it, because I don't want you taking it from me. Neutral gyro block. They should replace green with purple, then they'd have all the colors of the Pikmin. This block has done no harm or good to the world. Is that how you feel about your life? Then this block has your name written on it. Performance Stadium. A plate of solid gold is the perfect... Looks more like bronze, but okay. A plate of solid gold is the perfect place to show off your status in front of everyone else, even if they don't care. Questionable dinner table. Yeah, sure, this table may or may not have explosive tendencies. That just makes it more exciting. You'd never know if which meal could be your last. In a fun way. High-tech lounge chair. This table folds up nice and neat when not in use. Of course, the computer called it a chair, and Louie immediately swiveled and said, No, it's a table. This table folds up nice and neat when not in use. Did I mention it has several other uses as well? It's like a Swiss Army knife for tables. Not that I would know what Swiss means. Do Hokatations not have Swiss cheese? I guess to be fair, Swiss cheese is named after the Swiss people in the real world, because those are a thing, but I forget. No, Swedish? Swiss? Something like that. I could be talking out my butt. But even if they don't, they could name it that for a different reason. Anyways. Swiss Army knife of tables. You mean the fact that it can also act as a chair, and it could act as potentially a bed. You can play a game on it. I mean, the Hokatations could probably hook up some game to this. I thought it's too high-tech. Oh. I also doubt that Hokatations aren't high-tech enough. It would be like a big screen TV. Compressed storage unit. What knowledge is stored in the confines of this countertop? What it knows, no one else will likely never know. Which means they will know it? That's too many negatives. Is that for the best? Well, only this counter would know the answer to that. So buy it. I didn't really tell you why you're supposed to buy this, but buy it anyways. It's Nintendo, alright. Those red letters look like they say like Zelda in Japanese or something. They look like the font used for the original Zelda game, but in Japanese. I don't know what the font used was for English. No, for Japanese. No, yes, I don't know what the title looked like in Japanese, but in English, this is what it looked like, except these letters are Japanese. That's what I mean to say. Supreme Token. How could you get any fancier than a table made of solid gold? That's right, you don't. Well, I suppose platinum if you're living in like a Dungeons and Dragons world. Platinum would be better than gold, but whatever. Maybe not for tables. Oh, is that why this is the second best? Why are these so far away from each other? You'd think they'd be right next to each other. Stare of discomfort. What is this supposed to be? You haven't really given a good pitch for why anyone would want it, Louie. I feel like you failed in your job. What is this supposed to be? Well, if you want to find out, buy it. It's creepy, that's for sure. Some creepster would want it for sure. Nonsensical sensor.
While watching this head bob around is a lot of fun, I can't think of an application for it outside of maybe keeping the kids occupied with something other than food, which they do need every now and then, for a little bit at least. Antique replica. Oh god, what's Louie gonna say about Almar? Is he gonna tell you how to eat them? Or how to eat hockatations in general? While this may not help with cooking and is too big for a decoration, it sure looks beautiful. I mean, it's too big for decoration, but how can you argue with this logic? Your logic seems kind of flawed already, because it's too big for decoration, but it's also pretty to look at, but yeah, whatever. Primitive skull. This structure of bone is enormous. Why purchase stuff for your kitchen when you can just purchase a whole home? Well, you still would need a kitchen for your home, but okay. That key. The key that can lead the way to any... the key that can lead to the way to any place in all of Hocotate. Using it to break into places legally is still illegal, however. Although, if you make it legal after the fact, like, for example, if you, if you, like, have to save the day by breaking into an apartment that's locked and you can't get the owner's permission, but you have to break into it to stop someone from doing bad things in there because they broke into another way, then you made it legal. Or something. You know what I mean? Anyways, retroactively legal. Eternal thought. Using it illegally is still legal. It's just so funny to me. Who would guess a face like this is actually that of a true philosopher? We may never know what it is thinking, but that's because it doesn't want you. That's because it doesn't want you to know. That's because it doesn't want you to know. It wants me to know, but I'm not the one who's buying this. Immortal Mastermind. Okay, I'm ready for greatness. Well, take it from me that Almar here is not someone you want to have around when eating. He may be a good space explorer, maybe, but he sure isn't good at sharing food. Regardless, I'm glad we found him and can head back home and sell all this junk. No, we aren't actually selling him. Those 20 pokos came out of Almar's pocket as a fee for rescuing him. That's what the price is. That's great. As a fee for rescuing him? How dare you get lost like an idiot, even though Louie left him behind. I'm sure you left him behind on purpose, so you could get the 20 pokos out of him. Also, and sell all this junk? I mean, you say you're not selling him, so who's this pitch for? Just for the president to read over later? I mean, we have heard that Almar's not the best when it comes to the cooking. Still, it's just kind of silly to hear Louie say that, especially the whole sharing thing, because Louie is the one who's typically the hog. Reality reminder. Life is nothing but a mere game. Who wins and who loses up to your own thoughts. Then I'm a winner. Take that.
And take that, George from the 3rd grade. I did win life.
Memorial marker. I think I did know a George, probably in 3rd grade. I definitely knew a George in grade school at some point. I don't remember if I met him in 3rd grade, but he was definitely there. So if George, you're watching this, I'm not calling out you specifically. It was just a random name that came up. You're probably not watching this. Honestly, I might have known more than one George anyways. So, you wouldn't even know if I'm talking to you or not. I wouldn't even know if I'm talking to you or not. Anyways, memorial marker. Some of us will fiercely charge ahead without thought, while others stop to think about it. Which one are you? Really, there's nothing wrong with either, but if you fit in the second group, this might make a good buy. I get the joke. Wait, hold on. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Some of us fiercely charge ahead without thought. If you're charging ahead without thought, that's when you'd want to buy this, because you're not thinking. If you're in the second group, and you stop to think about things, what Louie is saying is that you're smart if you stop to think that this is good, buy. Which means either way, you'd buy this. It's a foolproof plan. Cube of Fate. When you let luck be what drives your life, you may have a rough time. I once was like that myself. It's how I ended up working at Hocotate Freight. Oh, jeez. In that way, maybe it isn't such a bad thing to do that.
So that's why you should buy this, because it'll let luck you drive your fate. Okay. What you're really lucky about is that the president's such a dupe, at least in this version of the game. Rectangular data glutton. This block can hold more information than all the databases in Hokotate, and it's actually pretty limited by memory storage standards by these days. What does that have to do with cooking? Well, why not put every recipe in the world with it? Why not put every recipe in the world with it? That's a good use. Every recipe in the world, but it's supposed to have more information than all the database in Hokotate. Well, maybe it doesn't have more than all the cooking databases, and that's why you could use it for that? Wait, no, this does have more, which is why you could fit it with everything. Never mind. I read wrong. That's a good use. Of course, it would be a good use if it's about food. Lightweight tent. This tent frame is a must-have for all you wilderness explorers out there. It might not help with your cooking, but food isn't everything, apparently. You finally bring up that it's not everything. 171 entries in. Wilderness explorers. To be fair, you do eat in the wild generally. You have some fun eat foods in the wild, like roasting marshmallows. That's a fun wild camp eat food. So like if you're doing fun wild camping and you want that, then this means you could have some of that fun wild camp eat food. So again, it ties back into food, Louie. You're losing your touch. I found a food tie when you didn't. Ruckus Railgun. Raucus? My first thought looking at this item and its partner was that they were seasoning shakers. I could see that. Sadly, that wasn't the case. No, they aren't edible either. At best, these make good decorations, I suppose. No drop frames. So far, so good, OBS. Good decorations. They're actually meant to be used in chests, but I guess Louie doesn't really know any food game. He doesn't know any games unless they're food games. Like food fighting. That's a food game, for example. Disc of Courage. Which one's this? Wind Waker. An old record label. I don't think that's what this is, but sure. Maybe your species never had game discs that were this size, because you know the GameCube did have weird sized discs. An old record label that is the very embodiment. Then again, these would be big for you, so. An old record label that is the very embodiment of bravery held within. With it by your side, you can take on any task. Like eating. Like an eating contest. That could need bravery. Or eating some food you don't want to eat. Both work. This is Sunshine. When you're in need of help, this record is there to help. Know that this is only a suggestion and you should not do things you otherwise wouldn't since you have this disc. It's there for moral support, but will not give you any actual support. Disc of Knowledge. A record so intelligent it personalizes itself in your image. Or in Olimar's image anyway. Okay, so it's only proven to work with my subordinate. Olimar support. Fucking hell. But I don't see why it wouldn't work with anyone. Anyone's subordinate even. I think you're reaching a little, but sure. Then again, it would be weird to discover this if, you know, to actually discover this, because theoretically that means they playing Pikmin games from the real life future. If this was a real game that existed in the Pikmin universe in the past of the real Earth, that would be super trippy. So you probably wouldn't believe it, and you'd think that is a plausible explanation by comparison. Huh. Disc of Horror. While this disc may be able to harness the power of your deepest fears, it promises not to use them against you. Okay, I think it's this hack has had so many typos, but I think this was an intentional double use of not. Harness the, because well, this disc may be able to have the power of deepest fears, because if it just said it promises not to use them against you, there'd be no zinger. The zinger is that this has a lot of typos, this hack, and uses double words a lot, but this time it's not a typo. It really means it promises not to use them against you. Because the other way is boring. Statue of the Origin. This monument has been enacted as a symbol of this planet's entire history. Not quite, of one game's history. What kinds of secrets can it hold? What does it know that we don't? It knows that Steve is in Smash. Oh, shoot. Wait, no. Steve.
Is that the name of the Minecraft character, or am I talking out my butt? Might be talking out my butt. Also, it doesn't look like Minecraft, to take it back. It may be a little bit, but it's more like just a Lego person. I just went to Minecraft because I don't know. Blame Steve. Harmless tragedy. Very harmful tragedy. This harmless box will be right by your side until the very end, even if you were to send it to a fiery death, which you will if you play the game. It would forgive you. I don't know if it would if there's someone inside. Which according to MatPat's game theory, buy now and get the second one 50% off. There's a second one? Oh, so one to throw in the fire just to see if what you're saying works. And then the second one to keep you company in case it doesn't. Summoning noisemaker. You know, I was never a big fan of the color red. Still, I can see the inner beauty in anything. You're not a fan of the color red because of Olimar. Thankfully, someone else has to buy it from you. I was never a big fan of the color red, even though you admitted that the red one was romantic. The red, the freaking thingy, was it a different shade of red? Maybe it's a slightly lighter shade of red? It looks darker in the zoom view, but it looks lighter in the treasure hoard view. Weird. I was never a big fan of the color red. Still, I can see the inner beauty in anything, regardless of its color. For example, just look at the shape of this speaker. So eye-catching. Don't look at the color, look at the shape. After all, the shape of the breasts are more important than the color of their skin. What? Whimsical radar. Do you think you could explore this planet without knowing where you are? Olimar did do just that on his first trip for a little bit. For a bit. Well, think again. You may not realize it, but you need this. If you want any chance at this cool planet, you'll have to master this knowledge. So if you plan on coming here, buy this from me. And then I guess we'll never come back. Wait. I guess the ship has a built-in radar, though. This radar was for his uses on the Dolphin, not the other ship, the Pikmin2 ship that just has a built-in radar. Although I guess, to be fair, I guess the other ship could theoretically also have a radar that it loses. Whereas this would be the Dolphin's radar, I suppose. Anyways, Olimar could do it all by himself without a radar, I betcha. Even though you're too lame to do something like that, Olimar could do it. Compacted Encyclopedia. Small is much better than you might expect. Is it that small, really? For example, you could carry this dome around much easier than if it were massive. How convenient! It's not that much smaller, and it's still big for you people. Because it's lighter than it could be, buy it. That's the reason. There are heavier versions out there, so because you'd want a lighter version instead of the heavier version, possibly buy this one? Even though I haven't really given you a reason to buy a globe in general, I've said why buying a lighter version is better. Something. Foul speedboat. It may be ugly, gross. I like it more than the offensive punching bag. But that shouldn't scare you off. What if that's what people are saying about you in secret? Oh god. You know, he makes something of a good point though. I think Louie's a little bit ugly. But I'm saying it out loud, not in secret. But he can't hear me, so... Or can he? Yeah, I thought so. So don't you want to relate to this duck that also people think is ugly in secret? Because that way you can be ugly together? Louie, that's a very mean pitch. But I think it'll work, to be honest. Modernized spacecraft. Well, the other rock, similar to this one, had no real use. This one's quite nice. Is that due to the color? Maybe it could be something else that does it. The other one had no use, but this one does? It's a better piece in chess, because the king piece sucks. I mean, it's a liability, really. You need it to not lose the game, but this piece is actually really good at stuff. Maybe it's better because it's got cracks in it. And the worn feeling really gives this some personality to your kitchen. Because the other one didn't have a worn feeling. Let me see. It is cracked. But it's a white king versus a black queen. It's kind of got an evil face if you look at it like this. So maybe that's the idea, is that it's evil. And it's got like bat wings on it. So you like don't want the evil one. The markings are all evil. Whereas this one's markings, it doesn't have as much of a clear defined face, and its markings are more haphazard, as if they're more legitimate and not carved on to make him look like he's got carvings, but really he's just evil. Fake carvings to make it look like he's used, but he's not. Something like that. Mutant garnish. Plastic oyster. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to actually read the description. Although I might have already read this. Grind this leaf up into a fine powder and it'll make a great seasoning. It'll make you luckier as well. This synthetic clamshell hides a tasty powder within. It's quite an unexpectedly tasty topping. A massive warehouse of tasty seasonings. The flavors takes getting used to, but once you've gotten an acquired taste, it's great. I feel like I've read these already, I think. Do you like salt? Most likely you just said yes. That one I remember. Of course, takes me to the final one to remember them. Wired hypercoil. Sometimes the danger of something outweighs the benefits of it. This is not one of those times. It's got great benefits, apparently. I might have read these already. Durable armor. My trusty ship thinks this plate is really great. I'm not sure why that is, but I'll sell it in its honor. Yeah, okay, I've read these. Yeah. Rounded wheelbarrow. This bucket once had a strange smelling drink in it, but I can't say what it could have been. Still, this bucket may have some other uses, like being a bucket. That's a use in itself. These are remnants of tasty chocolate left behind. There are, but the true secret holds is for you to know and you to never find out. Rude. Empowering chalice. There may be little left here, but this is all you need. A little is all you need. Just one whiff of the scent in this ceramic dome and you'll have the energy to run a marathon twice. I think I might have read these already. Sludge mat has clear images of food on it, yet there's no actual food to be seen. What a ripoff! Oh, I mean food or not, the sheer beauty of this mat is enough to make it worth the purchase. Oh, that one's great. Yeah, I've read these already. Yeah. Real purpose. It actually has a fruity scent to it. What could have been held in this box? Ancient times. Which is funny, because it's the Flintstones. Alright. This has to be new, because this is new. Smelly tearjerker. Stickiness that is surpassed by only the taste itself. If you're a fool, you'll taste this. What? Stickiness. Oh, stinkiness. I see. I thought it said stickiness, like with the tape earlier. Got the tape on my mind. If tape was tasty, uh-oh. I'd be afraid for Louie. Or maybe that'd be good. He'd get stuck somewhere and never come back. Stickiness. I said it again. Stinkiness that is surpassed by only the taste itself. If you're a fool, you'll taste this. That being said, there's nothing wrong with being a fool. We all are sometimes, and this onion will help you accept that fact. It really does taste good. That's great. It'll also make you cry. But only if you cut it, which you will, because as you eat it, your teeth will be going into it, which will cut it in a way, which means you have to be prepared to cry. That's how it works, right? That's how onions work? Love it. It's super stinky, but it tastes even better than it stink. So trust me, put up with the stink. The taste is worth it. Slimy Blockade. This enormous jar is as disgusting as it is unsightly. Only suitable for fans of the weird and unnatural. So not me. Well, it can be used as a blockade. That's what the ship said. Triangular emblem. What is this? Dew. Mountain Dew? The tip of this triangular emblem is dipped in a kind of brightly colored ink. I'm not sure what it is, but I can assure you it isn't delightful. Oh, but you should buy this because if you like triangles... You're slipping on your pitches, Louie. Canned life support. Deviled ham. By all means, this snack should taste delicious. Does it actually, though? That's a great question. Not a huge fan of ham personally, but I'm sure some people would like it. I'll allow you to find out yourself. Taste is all subjective after all, so maybe it's terrible, but if you buy it and don't like it, that's not on us, that's on you for buying it. Not that I'll say that in my pitch. Prehistoric delicacy. It's not like it's a medical thing, because with medical things, you always have to list all the side effects of this could be really bad potentially, in this way, that way, that way, that way. Even if there's very unlikely that it would ever happen, or it would only happen under really bizarre circumstances, like you have certain conditions, they still have to list all the side effects. It's legally. But with food, if it tastes bad, hey, that's on you, man. I have good taste buds. It's not my fault that your taste buds are shit.
prehistoric delicacy. A block of food so ancient it predates time itself. It doesn't even look like food. Not really. It sounds too good to be true. Yet somehow it isn't. The taste factor may have already passed, but the nutrition is still there. Okay. So get it for... Is it meant to be bread? Looks like a piece of bread, a loaf, but it's shaped like a pie. Is it? I don't normally like pie unless it's pizza pie, and this doesn't look like a pizza pie, so if it's pie, then I don't want it. Monstrous decoy. Laugh at me all you want, but I may or may not have thought this was actual beef at first. What? It's stuffed. Maybe you could have thought that it was an actual animal that you could kill and eat. But it's... How would you... What? Well, it's not, so don't try to eat it. That being said, it would make a great statue of some kind. Or better yet, you could trick your friends into thinking it's beef. Get great pranks out of this. Unstable pool. Yeah, so what if this is made entirely of plastic? That doesn't necessarily make it inedible. Although this isn't helping my case here, still, it might not be completely inedible if you don't have functioning taste buds. What? If you can't taste things properly, it should be perfectly edible. Way to sell that product, Louie. Or, you know, if you want to resist fire, you could wear it. But, you know. Repulsive footwear. Yes, this absolutely retouched, appalling, awful piece of footwear is something I'm foolishly trying to sell. Only suitable to those with... For those with bravery to embrace the dump they know they live in. Or they're really cheap because we are selling this for cheap. Please buy it. How cheap is it actually? 300? What a ripoff! That's the same as this. It's more than this stuff. You're selling for 300. I guess because it's so big. Yeah, I mean that would help. 5-legged pajamas. Well, this material is rather smelly and old and gross, and I hate it. It is quite soft and warm. A great buy for someone who needs extra warmth during the coldest months of the year. Like when you just ate the cold food and you need some warmness. This could be the warmness after the cold food. Bring it back to food, Louie. You gotta bring it back to food every time, Louie. I can't be doing your job for you. Seed of Scarlet. A glimpse into a very social structure itself. This fruit represents all that is both right and wrong with the world. Okay. What has and hasn't been said? What has and hasn't been done? What will you be the... Oh, do you mean what will or will you? Very social structure? This fruit does, really. Are you sure? How? Just because it's scarlet? Is scarlet a contrasting color by nature? How can it contrast? What does it contrast with? Itself? Both right and wrong. Wouldn't it be white and black to be yin and yang to do that? What has and hasn't been said, or at least red and blue for contrast? What has and hasn't been done? What will you be the first to ever do? What will you be the first to ever do? Maybe you'll be the first to ever do nothing, that's sad. And what will you do that will be the last time it is ever done? Oh wow, scary. Who will be the last ever Let's Player? Oh yeah, and it tastes pretty good as well. Hey, you look at that. He actually brought the food back around to the food. Tricky triangle. Flavor is great and all, but isn't there more to good foods? Of course there is. Wait, oh, never mind. Toast tastes all you need. I was gonna say, you know, preparation is important. The food looking good is, you know, for some people equally as important as it tasting good, because there's the pre-eating phase where you're like, oh, this looks so good, I'm so prepared to eat it. I personally think taste... Oh, wrong throat. Ugh. Taste is generally much more important, but there is something to be said for if a food looks gross and you lose your appetite and don't want to eat it, there is merit to that. Even if it does taste good, if it looks really, really bad, you may not want to eat it in the first place and never get to experience how good it is. Maybe someone will tell you it's good, but you might still have lost your appetite by that point, so... Oh, that was the wrong throat. Wrong tube. I always say wrong throat when I mean wrong tube. Well, upside to that is that I think it sends my food back up, so I get to rechew it. Yummy. taste is all you need, so I hope this is good. Note that Louie did not say whether this is good or not. Just that taste is all you need. And this is food. Therefore, if you like its taste, it was a good purchase. I'm surprised that he's selling the foods for less than some of these non-foods. Like, you think if it was Louie, if he came up with the prices, he would be selling these for the most. But I guess it's like the president or whatever that's coming up with the prices. Louie just has to come up with the pitches. Canned Earthquake. $1.39. Weird value. Is this some kind of reference to something old I'm not thinking of? The can definitely has, like, that question mark, and, like, this design looks familiar to me, but I can't place where I remember it from. $1.39 might be some kind of reference. The contents of this can are hard to describe, but taste quite good. The tendency for a natural disaster upon opening the can is a minor setback. What? I mean, with the question mark, I guess it makes sense. I do recognize this, but I can't really place where I recognize it from. Canned Earthquake. That's great. A minor setback that things may go crazy when you open it. Delicious mattress. What? This enormous piece of many different foods is a real breakthrough in food ideas all around Hokotate. What, you've never done sandwiches before? I'll call this the sandwich. What, are you inventing it just now in Hokotate? They've never done sandwiches? Are you kidding me? That has a nice ring to it. I don't know where you got that name from, though. Where do you get the name sandwich? I guess because it's sandwiched. All the stuff is sandwiched together, and they're using that term. That's where sandwich comes from. But you know, when I first learned sandwich, and then I learned that this was a sandwich, I didn't really understand the idea of sandwiching things together, and I thought more of, I knew the word sand, and I knew the word witch. So I'm like, this is a sandy witch then? Why would you want to eat a witch? Am I missing something? Some cannibals may indeed want to eat witches, though, so maybe that is where it came from. It's that back in the olden days, they wanted to eat the witches, so they burned them up. It used witch meat, and maybe sand was involved in the initial ingredients. Maybe because, you know, bread looks like it's kind of sandy. It's not, but it looks like there's sand on it. So they called it a sandwich because of that. How's that for food for thought? Anyways, protein pillar. What kind of food is in this rod? I can't tell exactly, but its symbols make me think it's healthy. I haven't been allowed to open it up, so you'll decide if it's good or not. Cookie of Confusion. I think I've read this already. You like cookies? Do you like really big cookies? I sure do. If you don't, you clearly are a sick monster, or you're allergic. That's a possibility. Yeah, I recognize this, but still funny. This cookie may be quite small, but don't go and underestimate it. It's actually packed as full of calories as it can be. Eat at your own dietary risk. Sweet, so absurdly sweet you won't be able to process your own taste buds' response to it. Yet the best thing you can do is eat it anyway. Real sweet fanatics fear nothing. Or they should definitely fear this, because they realize that they fear nothing. That would mean eating this would be the worst, or something. Or rather, eating something like this would be the worst, and this is the best, because you might as well, if you know that you fear everything, you might as well not fear this, because most people would eat this anyways. Or something? Ultimate water bath. Such flavor, such taste, seafood is always a great idea. Am I wrong? Yes. I don't always like seafood. Some of it I like, but not all of it. Hidden Marvel. Like the last one, this shell is quite tasty, although this one is special. Usually you eat the stuff inside the shell, don't you? This one is quite special. Again, I don't eat seafood much, so... This one is quite special. Just look at the pearl it has inside. Truly a collector's item. On top of being tasty. I recognize these, but none of them stick out to me like, oh yeah. This tower of chocolate is something you'd only hear about in fairy tales. Yet here it is. I hope you don't mind the cavities. That I remember. This may not be edible, but just one look at it will make you want to eat an entire grocery store. I don't know if that's literally possible. If you ever find yourself struggling to make it in life, just know that sweets like this one will always be right there for you, right in your belly fat. While the shell may be incredibly tough, a tasty bit of meat is hidden inside. The taste is hard to describe, but still a sensation of flavor. I'm thinking of crabs, where you eat this stuff inside, but don't eat the outer shell. Thought shells in general you just wouldn't eat, but maybe some you do. Scrumptious slab, except I don't like ham, so I disagree. A nice slab of good old-fashioned meat can never be a bad idea, so what are you waiting for? Feed your inner beast and eat. I pass. I'm not a huge fan of ham. Diamond Ruler. The ruler of all gemstones, this one might just be the best. How could you ever top it? maybe the one right next to it will top it. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I bet you it would be. Pearl of Riches. Ever wanted an easy way to flex on everyone with how rich you are, with only minimal amounts of effort? Well, this pearl is just what you need. You sure it's minimal amounts of effort? I mean, everything's big to you, so I feel like it would be big enough that there'd be some effort in taking this around. Guidance Director. Why is this packed in with the different gems and stuff? Weird. Can't find anyone to give all these wonderful romantic items to? Oh, okay. So it's saying, if you're having trouble figuring out who you want to give all the gems to. That's where this dial comes in. Its state-of-the-art lover sensing gauge will tell you exactly where your perfect partner is just waiting. If that's the case, why haven't you used that yet, Louie? Probably lying. Sounds like a scam. Also, we already had a love tester. I guess it was a love tester, not a love detector, though. Or a love director. Romantic gift. A pink heart. Sure, it's cliche, but sometimes it's fine to be predictable. Okay, so we're off of food into romance. Those seem to be your two things, Louie. Either you're talking about food, or you're talking about love life, which is showing the side of yourself who fails at love life, I suppose. Once we get to the Piklopedia, I'm sure it'll all be back to just food and no love life, though. One can hope. Although you might bring up some for dating, like, this is a good date food. Golden Friendship. Could this blue square be a window into an alternate reality? What if our reality is just an illusion and this is the real one? Well, there's some food for thought. Hey, it's food. Food's back. That's the real one. Crazy. I suppose it's the right shape and color for a TV. It's a blue screen. Blue screens are usually of death, though, so if that's the reality, then I don't know if I want the blue screen of death reality. Starstruck Jewel. This star-like shape of this ring is clear proof that it is quite literally out of this world. Could it be from another galaxy altogether? I mean, you already found the planet it's on, so your pitch is just lies. I suppose you could argue that it came from another galaxy and came to that planet, but it seems unlikely. Eternal Companion. The raw love exuding from this gem could get the better of anybody. Use this at your own risk. You could even fall in love with yourself. Galaxy Renderer. Blue may be the color of the cold and heartless, but that is only meant to make it even more lovely throughout pure irony. It's lovely through irony? Is that what you wish you were, Louie? Lovely through irony? Sorry, but I think you're just still smelly and icky, unless you're talking about food. It's cool when you talk about food, but every other time you're just smelly and icky. Forgotten Offering. Some people will go down in the books of history, while others will be forgotten. It is the way of life, as all. So let this ring remind that all of that is fine in the world, even if that's not the truth. Wait, what? Well, others will be forgotten. Let this ring remind that all of that is fine in the world. I think there's a typo in there, but I can't tell where the typo is. Okay. Forgotten Offering. So what you're saying is this: someone gave a ring to someone, and then that person forgot about them, and even forgot about the ring? I guess that is sad. Some people you date will go down in your memory. Others will go down, as in you'll forget about them. I suppose. Wait, what's not the truth? Even if that's not the truth. Remind that all of that is fine. It's all fine, and you're saying it's not true. Bad picture, Louie. It was confusing to read. Now that I understand it, that's a bad pitch. Royal Fortress. This royal throne could make the person of your dreams feel like they rule the world. They would have a hard time fitting it on their head, but sure. That would be nice at first, but look out for when they start thinking they can tell you what to do. You do not want that to happen under any circumstances. Rude. That sounds like someone who has trouble with their love life, which a lot of these entries seem to suggest that you're pitching to other people who have trouble with their love lives, but this is giving that hint that you have trouble with yours. It's okay if they sometimes tell you what to do. You know, you can't let them completely boss you around, but, you know, it's a give and take. Sometimes, you know, they compromise for you, you compromise for them. It's a relationship. Although ideally, the less compromise you have to make for each other, the better matched you are. Anyways, a Master Beacon. I didn't read this one. Just being around this gemstone is enough to make you feel calm and tranquil as you relax and take in its rays. What, you pretend it's the sun because it's kind of shaped a little like the sun? There's that weird green gemstone in the middle, though.
Droplet of sapphire. From the picture in the treasure hoard, it looks like it's got white and blue, but if you look at it like this, it's just white. So I guess it's just got a weird angle. Oh, it's like this. I see the angle. Yeah, because oh, I see, because of the big refracting. I understand now. That's cool, actually. Yeah, now you can see the comparison. The essence of rain itself this is the essence of the rain itself in a crystallized form. If you feel sadness when looking at this, that means it's working. Yay? But you don't want to be sad. But it's pretty. Maybe you want to make someone else sad. Maybe it's like a happy kind of sad, where you get sad, but in like a nostalgic kind of way. Like, those were the days. Which is happy sad? Stellar Battery. This gem has 4 sides to represent the 4 seasons. Why are they all green then? Good question. Dysfunctional jail cell. Yeah, it's very dysfunctional. Very easy to walk out of. Unless you, like, use something to cover the other sides. Such a calm and lovely looking wall of gemstones. Set up a nice picnic in the center of the jail cell for a rather pleasant meal. Why are they all green then? Oh, yeah, because for seasons you would expect, like, red. You expect, like, ruby. Red, blue. No. Wait, hold on. It's not. I would think it's blue because if, you think blue, but it's red, black. For ruby, it's red, white, black, yellow, technically, is the 4 sides to the ruby. So there's no green. But if you look at seasons, you would generally think red, blue, yellow, green, I guess, is the general idea of seasons. So what you're saying is we need green Pikmin, essentially. This is the extra reminder. They would be red, blue, yellow, green, but it's forcing all green on you until you give us green Pikmin, Miyamoto. What? So yes, this is a jail cell, but there's nothing wrong with eating a pleasant meal inside of it. Cherished, the computer and Louie are at odds. I still don't know if the computer has a name in this game. The ship, I mean, cherished, the ship's computer, I suppose. Cherished galoshes. Decorated, colorful gifts such as this one will make the ladies rush to you. Trust me, who can't resist anything this pretty? Again, bringing up the ladies. Louie clearly has issues, and has it on his mind a lot. Unlike Almar, who's got a happy life and doesn't have to think about it as much, Louie's thinking about it all the time. Massive container. Absolutely massive. Just look at it, at this unit. Just look at this unit. It was designed to hold lots of cleaning products, but it might be for the best that it's empty now. If it were full, it would be heavier than Hokkatate itself. By now, watch as people bow down to the 8th wonder of the world right outside your house. I am so surprised you didn't mention how much food you could store on this thing, but okay. Designed to hold lots of cleaning products, but now that those are gone, we can put food in it. I mean, I guess it's kind of big, but, like, no bigger than some of the other treasures we got, because everything is big by comparison for you guys. Lightweight bunker. This huge box has mere remnants of what was once a powerful cleaning product. Sure, it's empty now, again, the 2nd time in a row, but we still might be able to make use of what's left. Reserve engineering scientists, your time is now. Reverse engineering scientists, that is. I mean, I'm surprised you don't want to bring this back to food. I guess, to be fair, you sometimes need to clean things. You have to clean your kitchenware to make good cook food. So I guess cleaning does come back around to food indirectly. But you gotta be bringing that up, Louie. You're slacking. Window purifier. Got stains? Get this. Yes, it's as simple as that. The juice in this bottle will wipe through any foreign contaminant in an instant. Note, this juice is not actual juice that tastes like good juice that you would want to drink. Just keep away from the skin. Like the mouth where you would drink. That's a baddie bad. We're almost done. Composer of excellence. This sink-like object is great for... I was just checking if anything is new here, because I'm not sure if we read these before. I don't think we have. This sink-like object is great for doing the dishes after a big meal. No one wants to do it, so you might as well make it fun. Okay. Well, sometimes it's fun to do it for exercise, but yeah, in general, nobody really wants to do the dishes. That's true. Iconic emblem. Wait, what makes it fun exactly? Just because it's a pretty color? Great for doing the dishes. How? What makes it good for dishes? Because you put them in it? Make it fun because it's fun colors? You don't always explain your thinking, Louie. You don't always show your work. Which is important with these pitches, I guess. I think. Not I guess, I think. What I meant to say is that I guess the ship could, tidy some of these up.
But I guess the president wanted Louie's opinion because he thinks he's the bestest now. Iconic emblem. This old rag can keep your kitchen spotless. Of course, you'd think of the Mario, the alternate universe version of Olimar, as a rag, whereas Louie's hat would probably be sacred or something. This old rag can keep your kitchen spotless and your guests comforted. Sure, it's still in good condition, but what else are you going to do with it? It's worthless. It's not like your name is an anagram of Mario. That would be silly. Hardly a waste to me. And putting things on your head? How could you do that when we have to wear these spacesuits all the time? Oh, they probably don't have to wear them in Hockatate, you'd think. Although maybe they do, because we kind of did see them wearing them. Then again, that was probably at a space station. I don't know. Mysterious block. I'm just thinking of the start of Pikmin 2, how it's like, you just finished saving your life on that planet, that terrible planet from Pikmin 1. What? This was a treasure? Never mind, go back and risk your life again. We need fucking money! We need money! It's just a funny way that even the vanilla game starts. It's still more serious than 251's plot, but... Mysterious plot. Mysterious block, not plot. The plot's not mysterious at all for this game. And again, there is going to be a secret cutscene when we get all challenge mode stuff, so we'll get around to that eventually, I think. That'll be slowly over time, casually. I don't know if I'll record myself doing them all. I'll probably record myself at least trying them all, but... This block will consume any trash if you hit hard enough. Okay. Consume any trash. Doesn't it do the opposite? It spews things out? Instead of bring things in? Maybe this is like a backwards block. From the reverse Mario universe, the Pikmin universe, which is why it consumes things instead of expels them. Any trash, if you hit it hard enough, it's like an endless resource of energy. Are you sure you don't mean expels, not consumes? Expelling trash would be bad. This block will consume any trash if you hit it hard enough. It's like an endless resource of energy. Where does the trash go, you ask? Who knows? Who cares? I don't. Oh gosh. Maybe the trash goes to the Mario universe, and when they hit the blocks, they get the stuff. So it's like it goes in this end and comes out the other end. That's funny to think of. Bulky barrel. Too much stuff, not enough space. This massive bin is just what you need. So get it. Oh, that's the entire description. Too much stuff, not enough space. Yeah, sometimes people have that problem. But this will just take up more space, wouldn't it? I mean, yes, it could store things, but it would still take up space. So you'd have to find space for this thing that would then store more stuff? That seems like backwards logic. I think you need to go a little further. Like, do you have specific small things that need a storage space that you don't want being left out in the open? Ultimate gripper. This oven mitt, it's a little heavy for an oven mitt, but sure, maybe heavy as a boulder, but for the ability to hold anything without burns? I would want it. Shipping may take over a month. But I think it's worth the wait. Haha, wordplay. I get the joke. This oven mitt may be heavy as a boulder, but the ability for it to hold anything without burns? That's true. It may weigh a whole bunch, but it definitely won't burn you, even if you're holding something that's literally on fire, which is important for, like, you know, the Piklopedia. If you want to, for example, if you want to cook some red Pikmin, or more importantly, if you want to cook, like, a fiery Bulblax, you might need this to hold it without getting burned. I would want it. Shipping may take over a month, but I think it's worth the wait. Louie laughing at his own stuff is, even though it's very much Tanaka move, I've been ad-libbing a lot of those. So him laughing at it himself for once, without me having to ad-lib, is a nice change of pace. Also, for this being called Pikmin251, why is there 252 treasures? One of them might have been added in one of the updates, because it's version 2 or whatever. It seems like, whoa. Is this actually to scale? This is a huge frying pan in that case. Systematic platform. Cover cooking foods with this in... Cover cooking food... Is this meant to cover or meant to cook? Because it's... I mean, I guess it's maybe too big for you to cook in your universe. It'd be a great cover. It'd be maybe a little bit of a heavy cover, but if you get a bunch of people to use it at once at some kind of fancy cooking convention or something... Cover cooking food with this industrial strength lid, and it can stay hot for centuries. Did I mention it has other uses too? Like actually cooking with it if you get someone that's a giant? Those will be revealed during our shareholders meeting, so you won't find out. According to our trusty ship. Shareholders meeting? Will the public get to know the shareholders, what they're saying? Okay, we're done the treasure hoard. That's some nice water.
Alright, starting Louie's cooking thingamajigger wigger wigger. Let's start with the start. Cooking with Louie. That's not cooking with Louie. Cooking with Louie. Right, and we gotta go with amazing commodities. Okay.
The meat of this creature is surprisingly dry. However, the thighs... Okay, dry meat. The meat of this creature is surprisingly dry. However, the thighs can be baked whole and served with a sauce of your choice for a one-man feast. Or, you could be like a, generous, person. What's that word? Generosity? Give to others, I suppose. I would eat it all for myself, personally.
Cyan Bulborb? I can't even see it. It's too hairy.
You would think that the fur on this creature would be difficult to deal with, but it's actually surprisingly easy to pluck off. This beast is best served when chopped into bacon and placed atop a pizza for delightful crunchy taste.
Painted Bulborb. Oh, thank you to Invader for following me 18 days ago. That happened, that definitely happened since my last stream, because my last stream was about 30 days ago, so it's kind of awkward timing, but thank you anyway. Painted Bulborb.
The colors of this beast make the meat into a pretty mess, but it's great for children.
What? You didn't even talk about how to cook it. It's great, what, as a pet? What do you mean great for children? Is it just like, oh, I guess meat. You did say meat. The color, no, you just said the colors of this beast. Are the butterflies not waking them up? Weird. Wake up. The colors of this beast make the meat into a pretty mess. Oh, so you didn't even tell us how to cook it. You just said it's a pretty mess. 1 out of 10. I prefer Gordon Ramsay. What?
Unlike their large doubles, these things are practically oozing with moisture, so much so you should actually fillet them over a bowl to capture their juices. They make for a great butter alternative.
Initiate butter phase. These look very similar. Very similar.
Sadly uncookable. When the meat gets too hot, it melts into a pile of goopy flesh.
Huh? But they look so similar.
Practically oozing with moisture, so much so you should actually fillet them. Uncookable. What a boring answer. Gordon Ramsay. I see you with your fancy type font. Dwarf Painted Bulborb.
For a snack you won't forget, dredge chunks of the meat in all-purpose flour and deep fry them. The meat will make the bread into a dark purple color that is remarkably unique.
Kill. That's good. That's a good thing. You won't forget it. That's good. All-purpose flour and deep fry them. Sounds tasty. Meat will make the bread into a dark purple. Well, where'd the bread come from? You skipped a step. Where'd the bread? Oh, into flour. The flour becomes bread. I know how cooking science works. Spotty Ball Bear.
Skewer the meat with veggies and cook on an open flame to make some scrumptious kebabs.
He's a bit fat for kebabs, but okay. Also, make sure you eat him quickly before he regenerates and comes back to life and eats you. Dwarf Ball Bear.
Slice into thin pieces and put them onto a drying rack. Then sprinkle on some spices and turn on the
This isn't even Tanaka anymore. I lost Tanaka. It got even more snooty than Tanaka.
Slice into thin pieces and put them onto a drying rack. Then sprinkle on some spices and turn on the dehydrator for 4 to 5 hours.
That's what it was missing. That's what the voice was missing to be Tanaka. I found it again. It's the inflection.
Slice into thin pieces and put them onto a drying rack. Then sprinkle on some spices and turn on the dehydrator for 4 to 5 hours for a delicious jerky.
It's easier to do it in Persona because it's small bursts. Well,
Bulborb larva. Thin pieces. I always reread these because I don't actually read them when I'm reading them. You know? 4 to 5 hours? I hate it when cooking takes that long. Gosh. I know, you know, fancy cooking takes a long time, but gotta go fast. We're in the age of convenience. I'll just order it online, have someone else cook it for me. The nectar this creature drops can be used as a glaze for a sweet taste to rival BBQ sauce. Let's hope you actually like BBQ. Fiery Bulblax. Ooh, this is a fun one. The oily substance on this beast can be harvested and used as a component in hot sauce. That's funny, because it's fun. For some extra spicy goodness. Good. Goodness is good. I like goodness. Gummed Dumple. Gummed? Rough chop the meat and put into batter. Then deep fry it for some good seafood. It's good seafood because I see it and I eat it. Should be doing my Swedish homework, but I like being here more. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what Swedish homework is like, but I generally don't like homework, so I'll just assume I agree with you that being here is more fun. I like me too. What? I recently watched the Blue Exorcist movie. Season 2 dub recently came out. So, I mean, it recently came out on Netflix. So, I'm probably gonna watch that soon. So, in preparation, I got around to watching the movie. And there's the thing where he has homework. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but, like, the erases the homework. And I'm like, that's my kind of superpower. Let me erase homework. Anyways, deep fry it for some good seafood. Bulberman. Due to the meaty taste of the leaf, you can make a leaf-only salad for even the pickiest of eaters. The meaty taste of the leaf, so it's a leaf that tastes like meat because he's not a real Well, he is, because if I remember my Pikmin science, the Bulbman infested the Bulborb, took over its body, but then as the Bulborb grew up, it went crazy, and the Pikmin could no longer control it. And the little baby Bulbears follow the mama Bulbear, but, like, the little babies have control, and they're just following their mother. But it's like, but the mother doesn't have control of itself anymore. That's why it eats Pikmin now, because it's, like, lost its mind. And then the babies need a new mother, which is why they follow Olimar. That's Pikmin science. Anyways. Or I could be completely wrong and have forgotten everything, but I believe that's how it works. Fiery Blowhog. If you like bacon, this heap of meat is just for you. Don't. I don't like bacon, though. Has a boink on its back. Oh. The leaf? Yeah, very boinkable. This heap of meat is just for you. It may taste a bit burnt, however. Oh, well, I generally don't like burnt foods. And I don't like bacon much either, so that's a lose-lose. Toxic Blowhog. Inedible. Oh, you can't eat the poison? That sucks. The stench of this creature's poison sac is enough to make you gag. But gagging could also mean laughter, right? That's a good thing. I'll let it make me laugh. Armored Cannon Beetle Larva. Removing all the rocks from this beast's meat, there should be a comma there, right? Or an apostrophe, that's the word, apostrophe, not comma, those are different things. Word's good sometimes. Removing all the rocks from this beast's meat is a real pain, but more than worth the effort. Okay, so don't eat the rocks, got it. Or you can just leave the rocks if you want those extra minerals in your diet. That sounds bad, got it. Remove the rocks. Checkaroony. Golden Cannon Beetle. Slice the meat into tender cutlets and bread them. Then deep fry them for a crunchy golden snack. Good, I like golden. Persona 4 golden snack. I'll eat all of the Persona 4s. But especially the golden ones? Bumbling Blowhog. Much like the watery Blowhog, this creature is a mountain of moisture. However, a soap-like substance make it taste like chemicals. Ew, it's soapy. When your child is misbehaving, stick a piece of this creature's meat in their mouth. Well, hey, at least they'll get some food along with the soap. It's a bit better than the old school punishment. That's what my mother did to me.
Gross, Louie. Also, impossible. Maybe they stuck soap in your mouth, but they wouldn't have stuck a piece of this meat because Olimar just discovered the planet. You weren't born 5 days ago. Grounding Blowhog.
Although this creature is very fickle to prepare, the bright green meat is a great conversation starter. Meat that's green, isn't that crazy? That's the conversation starter. Good luck.
Gatling Grink.
After some recent discoveries, this beast has been deemed as inedible due to some explosive consequences the day after eating it.
That does sound unfortunate. Also, because it regenerates from death? And that's bad if it regenerated while you were eating it, and then blew up, it double blew up and dies in your mouth, and then it comes back to life, and then it dies in your mouth again. It kills you after it comes back to life, but then it'll die after it. You'd kill it as it kills you, and then you double die. It's too much death. There's too much death in the world for that. Iridescent flint beetles, so don't eat exploders, they'll explode. And die, and then come back, and then die again through explosion. Well, they won't necessarily die through explosion, but they'll kill you through the explosion that they died from. Or something.
The juices dropped by this beast can be used as a great jam alternative. Try using them on your morning biscuits.
You assume I eat in the morning. Or biscuits. Iridescent glint beetle. Is that what it's supposed to be called? Sounds like fake news. I thought its name was something else. I could be a dirty liar, though. Very easily.
Don't eat this creature. You should sell it instead.
How dare you? This is the food thing where you talk about food. We're the ones selling the food, right? Well, I guess you're not selling these, but like, no.
Then you can buy the best cooking utensils made by me. Louie brand utensils are the best tools for cooking bugs. Don't delay, get yours today.
Oh, that's funny, but also how dare you?
You should be like, sell it to get your tools. However, if you have all the money in the world already, then it's a great delicacy. Actually, it's only decent. That's why you should sell it if you can. Or something.
Doodlebug. This app won't stop kicking me out. Oh. The app to buy cooking? Or actual Twitch app? I don't understand if that's a joke or not. Are you saying that makes me think you're laughing? But I don't know, the caps lock makes me think you're serious. If only I could judge emotions through text.
Looking for a flavor that will surprise and delight your guests? This beast's aroma may surprise your guests, but it won't be delightful. That's the best of one world. Hey, that's half the battle.
Oh, Twitch. So Twitch is kicking you. That's unfortunate. Tell Twitch to stop being a mean pants. Hey, Twitch, you're being a mean pants. Stop it. Female shear group.
These small creatures are the perfect size for one of them to make a good-sized meal for one person. And add some salad to go with it, and you can please even the pickiest eaters.
But what if they don't like salad? Like, what if there's someone who likes other food, but they specifically don't like salad? If you add salad, you'll be specifically unpleasing them. I'm just saying.
Male shear grab.
The innards of this bug work well in a good soup. Combine this beast with the female shear grub recipe for the perfect soup and salad dinner combo.
Alright. Good soup and salad. Got the man is the soup and the female is the salad. I feel like there's a sexist joke in there, but I'm not gonna make it. Although saying that was already making the joke. I'm sorry for being sexist.
For not making the joke, because not making the sexist joke out of fear of being sexist is in itself sexist, is offensive to comedy.
For comedy in itself is always offensive by nature. Therefore, if you avoid offending one group, then you're really offending the other groups that you are willing to offend them and not them. Comedy it has layers. It's like comedy is like ogres. They have layers. It has layers. Those things have weird names. Everything here has weird names. You should see the scientific names Allmar gives them in the Pikmin251 Piklopedia Vanilla. Shearwig. Come out of here. Give me some... There we go.
Chocolate-covered bugs were one of my favorite snacks as a child. And this bug is the perfect chance to relive those memories. Just dip it in some milk chocolate and that's it. The perfect dessert is really that simple.
Well, great. I assume that's when it's dead. You don't want to eat when it's alive, you gross person. Yellow spotted baronet. Get out of there.
The soft meat of this creature has a unique taste that's almost fruit-like. Best eaten raw.
Oh. Almost fruit-like. So it's like a fruit meat. Okay, I don't normally like raw meats, but I'll take your word for it because it's like an alien meat, and you're an alien anyways. Double alien. Then again, this is Earth, right? So maybe these all evolved from people. Ravenous whisker pillar. They aren't that ravenous. They don't kill Pikmin. Well, ravenous for berries.
Cook these creatures shortly after they eat some berries to get far more flavor for no extra work.
Okay, but how do you cook them? Just cook them, period? There's no special recommendation for how to cook? You're a failure, Louie. Failure as a instructor. Anode beetle.
These bugs have a tough shell, but that means... Nope. But the meat inside is all good. Just sit on a rubber chair, wear good boots prior to eating it for safety reasons, of course.
Okay. Rubber chair, good boots. I understand. Okay. You crack them open, they got some good meat. Just don't get electrocuted. Mittite.
As creepy and unsettling as these things are, that shouldn't turn you off from giving them a chance.
I wasn't even helpful, Louie. Why are some of your entries just phoned in? Gosh. Probably it's a hack game and you don't want to put all the effort into all of them. But no, I'm just kidding. It's great effort. It's in character for Louie to not care that much. At least, especially with how this hack has characterized him. Hermit Crawmad. Get out of here. There we go.
Seafood like this is hard to beat. With meat like this, the more seasoning the better. Don't stop, just cover it. Endless flavor.
I think at a certain point there is such thing as an ended flavor, or whatever you call it. But if this guy's specifically good with flavors, I don't know. Or seasoning. Swooping snitch bug. Not a snitching swoop bug? Where's my snitching swoop bug? I prefer snitching swoop bugs. Just FYI.
I've written about these bugs before, but I have terribly underestimated the flavor potential of the wings. It turns out they make excellent chips with the dip of your choice.
That sounds like animal cruelty. Just take the wings and leave the rest of the body. What do we do with the rest of the body? Bumbling snitch bug.
Well, it's a pain to work with. The lechery meat. Well, it's a pain to work with. The leathery meat is well worth the effort. Serve the steak with a side of fries made from its wings and arm.
Oh my god, you're being gross again.
The leathery meat is well worth. Serve the steak with a side of fries made with its wings and arm.
Okay, at least you're eating the rest of the body though, right?
Don't let anything go to...
Okay. You're eating the rest of the body with this guy. With the bumbling. Just not with the swooping. Only the bumbling gets to get eaten. Careening Dairy Bug. Nope, Careening Dairy Bug.
Pull off the balloon-like air sacs, mince the meaty abdomen, and shape it into small cakes. Pan-sear the cakes until crusted, but be careful not to overcook the delicious meat. When ready to serve, garnish the plate with the vibrant air sacs. Even the most discerning dinner guest will be dazzled by the colorful presentation.
Oh, I see. So, like, put the balloons on the food once he's dead. Basically, put his corpse back into his suit and pretend like he's alive and look at the food float up. Does it still float up if you take the balloons off? Antenna beetle.
Extract meat from the exoskeleton and sear on all sides and hot woke.
That's a candle term, right? I think. Or that's a term. I think that's a real term. I think I'm not being punked by a typo.
Extract meat from the exoskeleton, sear on all sides in hot wok to seal in the flavor. Top the dish off with a splash of spicy peanut sauce. Splash of spice.
Okay. Lesser spotted jellyfish.
Similar in taste and texture to gelatin, this jiggling mass of jelly can be sculpted into all kinds of creative shapes. As a bonus, it also doubles as professional grade hair gel. It's the perfect cool summer treat.
Okay. Similar to gelatin. That's good. It also doubles as professional grade hair gel. That's weird. I don't want to put something in my hair if it's tasty. That sounds weird. I don't like it, Mommy. Take it away.
Great, but what is it by yelling? Oh my god, I don't know.
First stream in a while, my body's like, you're not fit to stream. Have a yawn. Greater spotted jellyfish.
Like a fine cheese, the aroma of this fluid floater... I love the alliteration. The aroma of this fluid floater can be oppressive, but its flavor must be experienced to be believed. Also make an unforgettable Also makes an unforgettable non-dairy spread.
It's not dairy, you sure? Oh, it's cheese. Cheese is dairy. Like a fine cheese, but not actually cheese. The aroma is like a fine cheese, but it's not actually a cheese.
Interesting.
Cheese is dairy, right? Or am I crazy? No, it's definitely dairy. You're telling me the thing has tasted every creature there? Oh, I'm sure. For sure. I bet they've all tasted. Louie has tasted every creature. Yeah, Louie. Louie eats everything. He's even eaten the bosses, I'm sure. I'm sure he's found a way when he was off doing his own thing at the end of Pikmin 2. That's what he was doing all that time, clearly. Taste testing. Fiery Dweevil.
The search for a gourmet, high-protein salad topping.
Gourmet, high-protein salad topping. Alternative to bacon. Salad topping bacon bits? Never heard of it. Okay. Sounds like something someone would do, but I've never heard it happening.
The search for a gourmet, high-protein salad topping alternative to bacon bits is over. Grind the spicy Dweevil into tasty micro chunks and toss them generously over your salad to add instant flair and flavor.
I'm dripping a little bit. I think there is a little bit of tiredness to me, and not just in my voice. I think it's because I'm in the midst of fixing my sleeping schedule. It's basically fixed. But, the first day of fixed, it's always like, is it really fixed? And my body has to fight with me a little bit.
Maybe that's where the yawning is coming from.
It's fine since we're just doing the Piklopedia anyways. You can just pretend it's Olimar yawning in the background rudely while Louie does this in the middle of the night. And Olimar's like, go to sleep, Louie! Why are you fucking reading out this in the middle of the night with your Tanaka voice? Because that's what Olimar sounds like. Instead of, Hocho! Nope, that's the president. Olimar's like, Orimo. That's good water. Anno Dweevil.
Raw Anno Dweevil makes for an unforgettable sushi treat.
What? Sushi is fish. Hold on. Sushi is a fish thing, right? This is not a fish. Hold on. Am I crazy? Sushi can't be a bug. What is sushi? Wait. Can sushi no fish? Can sushi no fish? Can sushi make no fish? Can sushi make... I gotta actually Google with real words. Real proper sentences. Can sushi make without fish? Can sushi be made without fish? Sushi without fish? Absolutely no problem. If you're a sushi fan, you will love this easy vegan sushi recipe. Oh. Okay. But, how is it sushi then? Sushi is isn't the definition of hold on. Sushi definition. I feel like I'm being punked. A Japanese dish consisting of small balls or rolls of vinegar-flavored cold-cooked rice served with a garnish of raw fish, vegetables, or egg. Oh, you don't even need fish for sushi. I have been lied to all of my life. Well, maybe since I was 10 on some kid's show. So what's required isn't even the fish, it's the rice. And you take the rice with fish, veggies, or egg, or maybe bug? That's crazy. Sushi without fish is a new phenomenon to me. Don't tell me you can't teach an old renegade new tricks. I just learned a new trick. You can make sushi without fish. Score.
Raw and Odrivo makes for an unforgettable sushi treat, but if it is not prepared by an expert hand with exacting precision, consumption could result in a jolting electrical explosion of apocalyptic proportion. For you and your innards, other people would be fine, but you would die. Just you. Caustic Dweevil. Inedible. Effects of consumption include uncontrollable arm flailing and enthusiastic dishwashing.
Not dishwashing! Anything but that!
I like my dishes being good and dirty, thank you. A little grease does a diet good. What?
I'm just kidding. Always wash your dishes, kids. You know, that's one of the things you gotta tell the kids, right? Brush your teeth, take your showers, wash your hands, and wash fucking dishes, so your parents don't always have to do it. Is that? Did I do a lesson good? What do you think about TikTok? TikTok is the sound clocks make, right? When they go to a thing, they go TikTok. Also, I have heard the term TikTok, but honestly, I'm not hip with the kids. I don't know what TikTok is. Let me Google it so I can be hip with your question. What is TikTok? TikTok definition. TikTok, known in China as Douyin, is a Chinese video sharing social networking service owned by ByteDance, a Beijing-based internet technology company founded in 2012 by Zhang Yiming. I'm probably saying that wrong. I know how to pronounce Japanese names. I don't always know how to pronounce Chinese ones. Zhang Yiming? Is this the right TikTok? So what I think about TikTok is, I'm more into Japanese lore than Chinese lore. That's what I think about TikTok. And maybe Korean lore sometimes, just occasionally. Wait, what is this? TikTok Urban Dictionary. Wait, what does Urban Dictionary call it? A platform that makes you reconsider life. It is filled with middle schoolers and high schoolers who think they are cute. It is filled with... Okay. That's a mean definition. What else are you gonna get from Urban Dictionary, I guess? If you know musical, you know TikTok. If you know musical, you mean there's a musical called TikTok? Or you mean if you're a musical person, you'll know of TikTok? Hold on, I gotta get to the bottom of this. I gotta science this. Musical TikTok. What is musical TikTok? What is TikTok musical? Formerly known as musical.ly, is a social media platform for creating, sharing, and discovering short music videos. So like AMVs? Think karaoke for the digital age. The app musical.ly was used by young people as an outlet to express themselves through singing, dancing, comedy. Okay, when did TikTok become a thing? When did TikTok become existing? Yes, that's how I wrote it in Google. When did TikTok become existing? ByteDance, 2016. Released worldwide after merging with musical.ly on 2018. Stable release 2020. See, I'm not hip with the kids. And like, I watch all my music from anime openings. Half joking. Video game music and anime soundtracks is where all my favorite songs come from. So, I mean, I don't interact with TikTok ever. I've known the term, but this is my first time looking up what it really is. Those are my thoughts on TikTok. As seen in Singapore. I thought it was Chinese. Wait, hold on. Oh, it's a screenshot. The Wikipedia screenshot is taken in Singapore. I gotta get to the bottom of this. Wait, hold on. Is Singapore in China? I'm bad with geography, but I believe that's untrue. Is Singapore in China? Wait, hold on. Is Singapore its own country? The Republic of Singapore is a sovereign island city-state in maritime Southeast Asia. So it is Asian. I knew that. I want to say I knew that. But it's not like in China or anything. Correct? I've went down a rabbit hole. I apologize. We're supposed to be reading Louie's stuff. It's okay though. I don't mind rabbit holes. This is a casual stream. Chinese name. Korean name. Japanese name. So I think I figured out that Singapore is its own thing. That could be wrong. Maybe I'm a dirty liar. Let's see. Musically, TikTok. Musically, sorry. 2019 and 2020, I think. You could go to Weeb TikTok. I don't know how weeb I am though, because I tend to watch anime dubs, not subs. So I think I'm considered an anti-weeb, or like an outcast weeb. TikTok has different sides. There is weeb, K-pop, Harry Potter. Okay, sure. That sounds like a lot of... I don't think I'm hip with the kids enough for that. I still use a flip phone. Anyways. Has there been any drop frames? 422? What? What a jerk. I blame TikTok. Anyways, withering to evil. If you value your hair, and by extension your youth, it is best to avoid eating this creature. Some people go bald, but that's fair. You're not even going to say, it's actually secretly delicious, but if you eat it, you go bald, so your own risk? No, just volatile dweevil. Nope. This torturing species combusts. We can always blame TikTok. I can get on board with that. Hashtag blame TikTok. The scorching species combusts upon contact with the tongue, only edible by the adventurous and asbestos. What? Asbestos-tongued. I learned a new word. Asbestos. Wait, I feel like I know asbestos. There's like a food, asbestos, right? I have not heard of this asbestos. Hold on, what is this? Asbestos. Asbestos. What is that? Definition. A heat-resistant fibrous silicate mineral that can be woven into fabrics. Okay, woven into fabrics. And is used in fire-resistant and insulating materials such as brake line. Asbestos. Name origin. I never do this, but I'm curious. Name origin. Give me the name origin. It's not giving me the name origin. Google, you failed me. Okay. Upon contact with the tongue, only edible by the adventurous and asbestos-tongued. Okay. Toady Bloister. Panseer, Pansimmer, and Pansage? Pokemon. Panseer with herbs and oil until lightly crusted on the... Why did they make that music video? Was it just to give the old-timers, like, maybe I can like Pokemon again feeling? Because it won't mean anything unless they give us a game we're actually interested in, right? I mean, sure, it was a cool music video, but, like, what was it even promoting? Was it promoting anything? Was it just like, hey, remember how cool thing? Because it was cool. It was a cool music video that Pokemon did recently. But it doesn't relate to like an anime or a game or anything specific. Just, it feels too sincere. It's too sincere. The company, the Pokemon company, I feel is a little scummy right now. Just a little bit with some of the practices they're doing recently. So I see them do that and I'm like, you're not allowed to do that. That's sincere. Stop it. That's breaking the rules. Pick one. No. Because I don't see the upside. They might like be able to make some money off of it if they monetize the YouTube video, but that's so minor. It's not advertising anything. That definitely would have taken so much money to make, produce. What is it? What is it for? It's a great video. What is it for? Anyways, is it just a goodwill video? They're gonna get in our heads and make us think, yeah, that's right. We would have only done this if we were sincere. So forget about our recent, some slightly scummy practices, like how we partnered with the Tencent for the mobile game, or how our games keep not improving, or how Ash is still the protagonist after 1,000,000 years. I don't know.
Hashtag Digimon for life.
Anyways.
With herbs and oil until lightly crusted on the outside and rosy on the inside.
What? That's a great sound, isn't it? I love it. Make cow sounds. Nice. Okay. Pink Wollywog.
Inedible. Known to cause sporadic feelings of love and affection.
'Cause it's pink?
Groody. Turquoise Wollywog. Wollywogs, not pink ones, are best ground up, shaped into a patty, and flame broiled on a grill.
Cool. Ground up. Okay. The Wollywog pizza is pizza for you and me. I did a SpongeBob. Oh, I think I got slight hiccups. Hold on. I gotta down a bunch of water. I'm officially... Oh, and there was another hiccup. That better have been the last one. Hopefully that was a trailer. I'm officially out of water, though, so I'm gonna have to take a break soon. Which is weird. We're not that... Oh my god, it's still there! Dang, hiccups! We're not that far in, but I'm probably gonna have to take a break soon, because I went through my water real fast, and I still have hiccups. Gosh, dang you, hiccups. Sometimes it takes two. Sometimes one round of water doesn't do it. If it doesn't go away in the next, like, couple minutes, I'll take a quick break to get some water.
Wollywogs are best ground up, shaped into a patty, and flame broiled on a grill. Slap on tomato slices, lettuce, onions, ketchup,
Mustard. Don't add mustard. You're a criminal in the system.
and slice the patty between a sesame seed bun for the ultimate beast burger experience.
How big does the bun have to be? I guess this little Wollywog can turn into multiple burgers, because you're like tiny people, right? So, Wogpole.
Wogpoles can be eaten raw, but they're much more flavorful when steamed or grilled. Also, heavenly in risotto.
That's a word I think I know. That's a food, right? I believe so. That sounds like a Japanese name. I think that's a Japanese food.
Also heavenly in risotto. Feel free to experiment with this lush ingredient.
Lapras Lazuli Candy Pop Bud.
This flower's tough texture makes it unsuitable for salads, but its bright blue hue makes for a grandiose garnish.
Unsuitable for salads, but it's a garnish. Longest hiccups lasted for 60 plus years. That was the most useless fact ever. Excuse me? You're joking. Someone legitimately hiccuped up for 60 years straight? I don't believe you. World record longest hiccups. An American man named Charles Osborne was weighing a pig in 1922 and started hiccuping. He was still hiccuping 68 years later in 1990. After about 430 million hiccups, Mr. Osborne holds the Guinness World Record for the longest attack of hiccups. That's a load of bullshit. How? How does that happen? Did he never drink any water? It was 1922, to be fair. Maybe they didn't know the pro strats back then. What? That's crazy. Hiccuping for 68 years and it just stopped? Did he die in 1990? Did he keep living? How would that feel to be hiccuping for 8 years, and then suddenly it just goes away? You just live the rest of your life. How old? Hold on. Charles Osborne. I got a Google chart. Hold on. We gotta get to the bottom of this, guys. This is crazy. Charles Osborne. When born. How old was he when the hiccup attack started? Date of birth, 1894. 1894. So 1922 is, that's 28 years later. 28 years later. So he was 28. Well, shoot, I'm not even 28 yet. I could suddenly start hiccuping for 68 years without realizing it. Do I have to worry about this? Okay. So he was 28, and then it stopped 68 years later. So it stopped when he was 96? Was he alive? He was born in 1894 and he lived to be over 96? Isn't that uncommon? I feel like, aren't people only living that long more recently? Although maybe that's wrong. When did he die? When died? What? When did he die? May 1st, 1991. He died a year later. The hiccups were keeping him going. He got to live one more year without hiccups. That's crazy. So, okay, he lived 97 years. 68 of those he was hiccuping. That's absurd. What? What would that be like? He died because some of his organs popped. Okay, but that was... He didn't die, like, the hiccups didn't go down with him. He died in 91. The hiccups stopped in 1990. That's so weird. Has anyone died hiccuping? There's limited evidence that anyone has died as a direct result of the hiccups. However, long-lasting hiccups can have a negative impact on your overall health. Having hiccups for a long time can disrupt things like eating and drinking. What happened to the girl who couldn't stop hiccuping? Okay, the guy with the record is a guy, so this is fake news. Jennifer Mee, who was arrested for first-degree murder in her police booking photograph, a teenager who attracted national media attention after she couldn't stop hiccuping for 5 weeks, has been charged with 5 weeks? Try 68 years! That's small-time stuff. Maybe, oh, but this was from 2010, so this was recent. Okay, relatively, 10 years ago. Recent, quote-unquote. Feels fucking recent. You know how age goes, you know. Everything before 2010 is a long time ago. Everything since 2010 happened just yesterday. That's how time works. Gosh, some of these... Who did Hiccup Girl kill? God, frickin'. Okay, we're done. The rabbit hole's over. Okay. Alright. Makes it unsuitable for salads, but it's bright blue hue... Hold on, did we drop more frames because of Google searching? No, we didn't. It is TikTok to blame, because you didn't lose any frames looking up hiccups. I blame TikTok. Makes it unsuitable for salads, but its bright blue hue makes for a grandiose garnish. Okay. Crimson Candy Pot Bud. This spicy flower combusts upon contact with the tongue. Ouch. Keep fire retardant He said retard. That's a funny word. Actually, you're not supposed to say that word anymore. Ooh. But it's right there in the word. So, you know, too late. Keep fire retardant. Are they going to legally try to change that word? Like, what do you do with the word retardant? Retard is in the word. I'm being serious. Because they're trying to make it, or at least a few years ago, I forget when this change started happening, but they wanted to make it that, like, retard was a word you just don't say. But, like, what about words like retardant? Are you allowed to say that? Or does that, like, piggy bank? Is it like the thing where you're, like, you're allowed to say, I don't know, like, for example, asshole is bad, but hole is fine, ass is bad. Maybe it's one of those things where ant is okay, retard is bad, you combine them. Is retardant okay, though? Because, for example, when you combine ass, which is bad, with hole, which is good, you get asshole, which is still bad. Or usually worse. So where's the line drawn? So I don't know, like, what about, you know, ass burgers? Like, ass is a bad word. But then burgers are tasty food. I just, you know, some of these combination words, I'm like, where do they draw the line? I'm half joking, but also half serious. The Asperger's was a joke. The retardant is a genuine question that I turned into a joke because I like making funnies. I'm sorry. Keep fire retardant condiments within arm's reach. Also, I'm going to be honest, it's a funny sounding word. I'll say it. Retard's a funny sounding word. Retardant makes it even funnier. Maybe it's okay because it sounds funnier. I'm not gonna lie, retardant sounds funnier than just retard alone. I don't normally say the word because I know it's touchy, but, like, it's there in the word, so I thought of bringing it up as a genuine question. Anyways, wait, actually, let's Google this. We're Googling a lot today. is it okay to say... Wait, hold on. Google, wait. Oh, shoot, it doesn't show me. Maybe it doesn't want me to say retard. Retardant. The word retardant is used as a non-offensive connotation to its correct usage form. What? Fire retardant, which means it's fireproof. I know what retardant means. The word fire retardant and retard in music is used correctly for indicating a definition. The appropriate indication of the word retard is tolerable because the terms are not absurd, misused, disrespected, and shamed. Okay, so it's okay to use retard correctly, but most people use it incorrectly? I didn't even know there was a correct... I know the word retardant, but to me, I'm going to be... Wait, retard definition. Because honestly, the only thing I know retard as is an insult. I don't know it to mean anything else. I'm going to be honest. Maybe that's why they're trying to make people realize what it actually means and stop saying it the wrong way. Delay or hold back in terms of progress, development. I see. Is that like the scientific definition? I can understand why it's problematic. It's an insulting word. You don't want to say it because it's a bad word. I wouldn't want to call anyone that. But, like, I feel like the idea that it's insulting to people who you're not even targeting towards by targeting it to someone who isn't even that just seems... I think the idea is that you're saying if it's an insult, then you're saying it's bad to be... I understand I think I understand where it comes from, but you could do that with anything, right? I don't know why I'm getting into this now, but you could be like, I mean, they don't do it with anything, and I'm coming up with a dumb example right now because I'm on the spot, but like, hey, shorty. Shorty is used as an insult sometimes, because being short is like a problem or whatever, so like, huh, you're a short person, that's a joke at your expense, and it's like... But they would say that only if they are short, but like they might call them that even if they're tall, but just they're shorter than them. But would they call them that if they're taller? Okay, they're using it wrong though, but it's still the same thing. It's not the same thing, because the idea behind like a shorty insult, even if they weren't short, is probably either you're using it ironically or you're using it because they're shorter than you, even if they're not short, generally in an insulting tone. Whereas the R word would probably be used to say someone is, you know, even if they aren't mentally challenged, to insinuate they're as dumb as someone who is mentally challenged, which is to make fun of the mentally challenged. I understand that. I understand that. Anyways, it's a mean word and I don't like saying it a lot anyways. I prefer fuck. It's much cleaner and nicer. It's Google Day. You just killed my brain cells. But anyways, keep fire retardant condiments within arm's reach. That is weird, you know? Like, I can say retardant, and I don't feel icky in my stomach. When I say the R word, I'm not even going to say it anymore. It feels icky to say it. I don't know what it is. I think it's been coaxed into my brain that it's icky to say the R word. I don't even want to say it anymore. Every time I've said it, I've felt icky. Because I've been conditioned to feel icky? I don't know, but I say retardant just fine. As long as I continue the word and don't stop at the duh part, it's fine. But if I stop at the duh part, I get an icky feeling in my stomach. What is that? That sounds like a psychological thing. I'm psychoanalyzing myself. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anyways, Scarlet Candy Pop Bud. When put on heat, this flower releases a tangy aroma into the air. However, it tastes bland on its own. Okay. Violet Candy Pop Bud. This convenient purple flower secretes a dark, flavorful oil that eliminates the need for salad. Eliminates the need for salad. Oh, for salad dressing. I had to keep reading. Ivory Candy Pop Bud. This elusive flower spoils within seconds. This elusive flower spoils within seconds of picking, making it unsuitable for cooking. Uh-huh. Right, so they're all bad? All bad. Don't cook flowers. Eating this flower leads to spectacular, breathtaking indigestion. They're all bad. Great. What about this flower? Creeping chrysanthemum. When thinly sliced, this predator's... I guess it's actually a meat that just has a flower exterior. This predator's sizable bulb makes a sumptuous pizza topping. Tasty. Skitterleaf. This superb amalgamation of juicy meat and leafy greens ensures that the skitterleaf will be the new spinach. Okay. Juicy meat and leafy greens. It's meat, but it's also leaf. That's great. Great. It's good to have meat. That's weird. That's so weird. But Pikmin has a lot of creatures like that are like meaty and leafy. But it's still just so weird to think of. Unmarked spectralids, 54. Spectralids don't provide a lot of meat, but the exquisitely elegant wings are surprisingly tasty. Of course, as always, just taking the wings. Particularly when expertly prepared with a sweet candied glaze. Ooh, candied. Nice. What was the thing with this guy again? Right, pizza topping. Okay, we're at 54. Hold on, how many are there total? I just want to remind myself what our progress is. Oh, there's not that many. We're past halfway. Okay, we're making good progress, actually. I think, that means there's less creatures than there are treasures. Of course there are. So this actually is going for, because, like, how many treasures there are? Oh, yeah, there's way more. There's, like, 3 times as many. Okay. Honeywisp.
Although the eggs are small, the yolk has a distinctly bold and tangy flavor. Try tossing a few in a pan along with your choice of meat and... I was not taking this in at all. Although the eggs are small, the yolk has a distinctly bold and tangy flavor.
My leg do be numb right now. Yeah, when you sit for a while, it does that. It do do that. It do that indeed.
Try tossing a few in a pan along with your choice of meat and fresh vegetables and cook up a country scramble. Country scrambled eggs. Oh, I understood the joke reference thing.
Moss Mamuta. Oh wow, we can see the bosses.
The moss on this creature's skin makes for a great steak garnish. Eating it may cause problems, though.
Oopsie poopsie. Like what kind of problems? Like poop problems? Will you have to poop? What's the problem? Is it indigestion, upset stomach, heartburn? Hey, Pepto, upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, nope. Upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, heartburn. No, upset stomach, diarrhea, nausea, heartburn, indigestion. Whoa, Pepto-Bismol. I think that's the song. Anyways. Frosted bread bug.
This being actually has a mint-like taste to its meat. It's certainly unique, but I wouldn't call it edible.
Okay, so you can taste it, just don't eat it. So he's like gum. Pellet posy.
On a quest for the perfect hors d'oeuvre.
What? Is that a real word or did you make that shit up? Horse? Is that French? Oh, it's French. I understand. I can read French. I mean, I understand when I'm seeing French. I can't understand it, though. That's a real French word, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. It just looks like a French word.
On a quest for the perfect hors d'oeuvre.
The way it's written, I can kind of tell. I think I can tell. Based on the little bit of French I took when I was younger.
On a quest for the perfect hors d'oeuvre.
But I don't know how to say it, but I definitely know it's a French word. I know the accent I would use, but I wouldn't know the exact way you pronounce it. I don't know if you pronounce the H or not. I don't know if you pronounce the S or not.
Hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvre. Slow cook this plant in a wood fire oven, but be careful to only serve the tender pellet.
Common glowcap.
Rapturous fresh or...
My mom be suspicious of what I'm laughing at. You're laughing, that's good. That means we're enjoying it together.
Rapturous, fresh, or sauteed, this illuminating fungus will be hot in the galaxy's trendiest restaurants. You thought I was going to say something naughty, didn't you? Like, I don't know, strip joints? What does a Hawkitation stripper look like? Fresh or sauteed? Sauteed? It looks like it would be pronounced sauteed, but I'm pretty sure it's sauteed. Weird. That's like what it would be pronounced like if it was a Japanese word. Does saute have an origin in Japan? Because I feel like if that was an English originated word, it would be sauteed. Illuminating fungus will be hot in the galaxy's trendiest. Will it be literally hot, or will it be hot as in it's a hot topic pickup item? Distinctions. Clover. Mildly poisonous, may result in nausea, almost the song, not quite. May result in nausea, headache, fever, fatigue, chest pain, paralysis, loss of bone. No, okay, it keeps going. May result in nausea, headache, fever, fatigue, chest pains, paralysis, loss of bone density, moodiness, feral rage, sauciness, dilly-dallying, strokes of brilliance, and ultimately doom. Hey, at least you get a couple strokes of brilliance, though. It's not all bad. Mildly poisonous. Just mildly. Ultimately results in doom, but only mildly poisonous. Figwort. Sounds like Squidward. I don't know. This titillating ingredient tastes impossibly fresh, but you must cook it immediately after picking. If you don't, it'll go bad within minutes. Oh shoot, speedrun challenge. I like a challenge, I guess. Just, I don't care to do speedruns much, but I like watching them, so I'll take it. I like hey, I was gonna not actually do it myself and order someone else's food anyway, so I'll take it. I do enjoy cooking. I don't know the most recipes because I'm lazy and like just buying food pre-fooded, but I do enjoy it when I don't feel like being lazy, which I occasionally don't. Dandelion. Young leaves are only suitable in garden salads. Use the flower to add color to your dishes. Okay. That's good, I think. Young leaves. Alright, what if it's an old dandelion? Use the flower to add color to your dishes. Just color? No flavor? Well, that's terrible. I want more than just color. I care more about aesthetics. Seeding dandelion. Dried, roasted, and finely ground, the root of this plant makes a passable coffee substitute.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't care.
Horsetail. Remove and discard the primitive scaly leaves, then blanc. Remove and discard the primitive scaly leaves, then blanch. Blanc. How do you... Hold on. Going back to our friend Google. How do you pronounce blanc?
Blanche.
It's Blanche? Are you sure it's Blanche? How to say Blanche? What is Blanche? Blanche definition. Make white or pale by extracting color. That does sound like blank, but why is it blanch and not... I guess that makes sense. Blanching as opposed to blanking. Okay. You've convinced me, Google. You've convinced me. I'll let you win this time. Remove and discard the primitive scaly leaves, then blanch the tender stalk in a buttery broth. Foxtail. Inedible, plagues victims with potent, debilitating cramps. But if it's inedible, how would you get to the point where it gives you the cramps? So it has to be edible. Loophole. Glowstem. Inedible. Known effects include uncontrollable episodes of impromptu breakdancing. That's great. What do you mean inedible? Gosh, eat that all the time. Although, you know, is it like, does it ever go away? Or once it's in your system, once it just happens all the time? Because that might be a little sketch. Margaret. Can be eaten fresh out of the soil, but it's much more flavorful when incorporated into a heavenly veggie lasagna.
Ooh, I like lasagna. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Haven't had it in a while. It's good. Fiddlehead.
Sun-dry the leaves for several days and grind them with a mortar and pestle. The resulting herb grants an aromatic, earthy flavor to mutton and poultry dishes.
I don't really like it when my food tastes like earth. I like it when my food tastes like food. Gosh.
Shoot. Inedible, and yet strangely delicious.
So it's like gum then. I don't like gum either, but you know, you get the idea. Also, 69, haha, sex jokes. Silver Empress Ball Blacks. What does earth taste like? I'm not sure if I've tried it. I don't think I want to. I'll just assume that he's Louie, so he knows what he's talking about, at least when it comes to food.
The rather metallic taste of this beast's meat may be...
There should be an apostrophe after the T before the S. I know how grammar works. Sometimes. I'm actually pretty bad about grammar, but I think I at least know that much.
The rather metallic taste of this beast's meat may be off-putting to some, but definitely not all. Alright, try it. You might hate it, but maybe you like it.
Burrowing Snarrow.
The scales of this serpent make for great serving dishes. The meat tastes standard.
Oh, just standard? Hopefully the better, birdier one will be better. The one that's the better one will be better tasting.
The meat tastes standard. Nothing special about it.
Bitty long legs.
Poisonous. Consumption results in prolonged writhing and uncontrollable mirth.
What is mirth? Hold on, we gotta Google the word mirth. We're learning a lot today. Today's the learn day. Before there was just chatting, now there's just Googling. Amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. Uncontrollable mirth? That means you'll be happy. Is that a bad thing?
Consumption results in prolonged writhing and uncontrollable mirth.
So you're, okay, writhing on the floor laughing. You're LMAOing. Interesting. Emperor Ball Blacks.
To prep the tongue for cooking,
Oh, it's always about the tongue with this guy, isn't it?
marinate in olive oil and chop into cubes. Stir in a pot with carrots, potatoes, and chives. Cover,
What? Oh, cover! It's the word cover, not cover!
ah, played myself.
Stir in a pot. I was like, wait, that's weird. Cover, but and already happened, so the word should be over. It's probably a forced laugh, so basically pain and suffocation. That might be a problem. But, you know, sounds like Joker's kind of food. Sounds like something Joker would weaponize.
Stir in a pot with carrots, potatoes, and chives. Cover and simmer over low heat for several hours, accompanying with mouth-watering rustic stew with a hearty roll.
Giant frosted bread bug.
Like its smaller counterpart, the minty meat of this creature is edible, but very strange. I can't even describe it, really.
But I thought you said the smaller counterpart was inedible, like gum. So you're a big fat phony.
I can't even describe it, really. It's so bizarre.
You said the smaller counterpart was tasty but inedible. Now you're saying it's bizarre, but you can... You're a liar. Sounds like the work of a shoddy fan game maker who can't keep his things consistent. Just kidding, it's great. Pillated snagret. Pillated.
You haven't lived until you've tasted a mint-braised snagret shank. Or, if you're feeling especially saucy, stuff a bird with a can of your favorite savory nectar, throw it on the barbecue and let the juices mingle to make a mean beverage canister snagret.
Okay. Stuff a bird with a can of your favorite saucy nectar. Ooh. Okay. Throw it on the Barbie. Oh, let the juices mingle. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Nice. And you can drink them right up. How do you eat the robot? There's get in the robot. Now there's robot get in my belly. Man at legs. How many people? 49. Oh. I feel like it'd be more than that. Right, it was more, but I reset. This was the guy that I cheated against and reset against. It was actually like 2,000 deaths, or at least 200.
Although the meat is a bit on the metallic side, The oil makes a mouth-watering gravy. There's actual meat in there. Okay, that's weird. The oil makes a mouth-watering gravy or lubricative vinaigrette. Vinaigrette.
We gotta look up more words. We're learning more words with Louie today. Vinaigrette. Vinaigrette? What is that? Oh, it showed up. It knew what I was gonna say. Vinaigrette. Salad dressing of oil, wine, vinegar, and seasoning. What? That's not... It's an extension of vinegar, right? Am I crazy? How do you pronounce this?
Vinaigrette.
Vinaigrette. Vinaigrette. Never heard of it. In my life. I've heard of vinegar. I've never heard of vinaigrette. Okay. Lubricative vinaigrette. Lubricative is a sex joke. Haha, laugh at the funny sex word. That's the whole thing. Did I read all of it? Yes. Ringing voice. Make the cow sounds. Make them. Cow sounds. Do them. Cow me. Yes.
The gills are best prepared deep fried in a herb and breadcrumb platter. Batter. Both work. Also tasty, poached and drenched with fine soy sauce. Soy sauce on a cowfish?
Okay. How the frick do you eat this thing? I'm gonna note that up because that's amazing. Which part's amazing? The fact that he's a cowfish? Or the fact that, poached and drenched with fine soy sauce? Inedible. Inedible. Known. Oh, right. He was inedible in the base game, too. Known to cause mass hysteria, followed by leg spasms, internal thunderings. Also, he's in another dimension, so it's kind of weird. Segmented crabster. Yep. Crabster? I feel like I want to say he's crab brawler. No, it's a Pokemon. Crobster? No, it's crabster. Oh, all laugh at the sex word. Oh. Oh, thank you. Desert meats are all the rage on Hokotate. They have weird humor. Well, you've come to the right place. At least you came to the right place instead of the left place. Case in point, there's my weird humor. What? Dessert meats are all the rage on Hokotate. Is this a dessert meat? Is crab dessert? I think it could be everything depending on what level of snob you are. When the planet's finest chefs hear about the kind of sorbets, pies, and parfaits you can make with the claw meat on this sweet beast, they'll clamor for every morsel we bring home. Raging Longlegs. The skin of this beast is so thick that the best thing you can do is just slice off a chunk of fatty blubber and grill it on the barbecue. But does it taste good, though? Scrambled Titan Dweevil. Even after cutting the legs off, this creature still wriggles around helplessly. Personally, I like to taunt the creature by eating its legs raw right in front of its face.
Tell us how you really feel, Louie.
It's an amazing feeling. That is how I really feel. It's great. I love... Okay, Louie, that's a little sadistic. That's a little bit of your true personality coming through, I guess. But I guess, if anything, it's good for it to be on the last one. We're not gonna do it, but I want to take a looky look. What's 2P Battle look like? 2P Battle. Interesting. Iron Battlefield. Okay. I don't have someone to play with me, but I'm still... Oh, that's an interesting song. Iron Battlefield. Broken Bulbman. Gambler's Fallacy. Rusted, Rusted Ruins.
Interesting. Rusted Ruins. Test Map Trickery. The Water Wraith. That's fun. Valley of Repose. Awakening. Valley of Repose. That's normally not in this game, in this hack. But it has the gold beetle, so I think it's real. It's a real addition, not just from the vanilla game. Awakening Wood. Although maybe... Oh, a Perplexing Pool. I see. Wistful Wild. Yeah, and it's got the altered color. Yeah, so I think it's a real thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I may mess around and see what these look like later, but not right now. Oh, rules? Win condition 1, get 4 yellow gyro blocks. Win condition 2, get your foe's gyro block. Supercharge all Pikmin. Bury enemy Pikmin. That's right, that's what that does. Blowhog drops an opponent. Blowhog drops an opponent. Volley Dweevil drops on opponent. Oh, I see. Recover stolen gyro block. Boulder drops an opponent. All Pikmin bloom. Increase Pikmin by 5. Vanish from opponent's view. Never played this 2-player mode, to be honest. In regular Pikmin 2, even. I don't really have a second player to play with for this emulation, but I might be able to rig it so that it plays without a second player. I don't know. And I'll find out later. When I mess around with challenge mode, I'll see if I can mess around with that at all. Oh yeah, this looks like a big involved thing. Although I don't know. Well, I guess if it does give us orange Pikmin, I'd have to get in. Oh, look at their faces. I think this is a unique challenge. 0? Oh, I guess you just start with 0, but you probably have something else. Challenge rules. Like normal, you collect the key to progress. Escape before time runs out. 30 all-new challenge mode levels to explore. What kinds of new surprises could there be? Yeah, we'll have to do this at another time, that's for sure. I thought it would be involved. There is 30 all-new challenge levels. I will definitely look at those. Maybe I'll start doing weekend streams for this game just casually. I don't know. I can't do weekend streams much. For reasons. There's reasons I have never really streamed on the weekend before. But, like, honestly, I don't think it's impossible for me to do, like, a Saturday morning quick couple hours. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. At the very least, I want to stream this weekend to get through the Piklopedia stuff. I believe that's it, because we've taken a look at this. High scores. Oh, bonuses. We'll take a look at that in a second. Right. Debt repaid, all treasures. So 2241. Almost twice as long. Total lost Pikmin, 401, 13, 14. 900 more Pikmin lost. Pikmin lost in battle, 700 more Pikmin. Left behind. No extra Pikmin left behind, though. That's good. Pikmin lost to fire, 4 more. Water, 2 more. Electricity, 47 more, and we originally lost none. Explosions, 92 more. Poison, 30 more. Born, 1,170 more. About 500 more. Not much more, only like 60-ish. 60, 70, 70. Blue Pikmin, 530 more. White, 25 more. Purple, 44 more. I born so many of these because I had to go back into that one cave so many times. That's why it's an uneven number, unlike this, which is 75. Total playtime, 1741, 4240. Bonuses? Intro story, debt repaid, credits, Louie returns, all treasures collected. Oh, there's a question mark again. Ooh, that's gonna be great when I get... Let me guess, I have to perfect all the challenge mode stuff. Insert the e-reader into the Game Boy Advance. Link the GameCube and Game Boy. Turn on the Game Boy. Go to connection. Press A and go to the games. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah. I think we're done. Let's actually let this, because I always am on the options screen, because this eventually goes to something else. Let's see what it transitions to, I'm curious. What's the first thing it'll transition to if I leave it for a little bit? It might show something from challenge mode, because I feel like I let it play once and it showed like a beady long leg showing up somewhere where he never showed up in the main game. So it might be what it does, it shows random stuff from like challenge mode. I'm waiting. I want to see it do one thing. Let's see something, and then I'll go raid someone, I guess, before I stop the stream. Version 2.3. I wonder what's changed from version 1 or even version 2. Nothing. Yeah, this is what I saw. Was this like an older version of the game? Was that challenge mode? That's like a dev look on the game? Oh, oh! The beady long legs through the floor! Oh, he's like messing with its... That's neat. Oh, this is not like what it is in vanilla Pikmin 2. Oh, I'm glad I'm looking at this. What? Beady! Beady, calm down, Beady! What's the designer doing to you? Can you make the beanie in the actual game work like that? Is that it? Does it change depending on what environment we have? Like we just had fall or whatever it is. I think it's fall, winter, summer, spring, if that's how it works. Or is fall the same as spring? I never remember. You know there's 4 seasons, and I've said 3 of them at least. So I'm gonna let this loop one more time to see if it's different or if it just does the VD one. That was funny, but I want to see if it changes. Hello, Golden Blug. No, don't rush. You can't rush someone like him. You have to go on his head. I guess there's no one to throw you. Pikmin, you have to learn to throw each other. Like how captains learn to throw each other in Pikmin 3. Pikmin need to learn how to throw each other. It would make their lives so much easier. Then again, without a true leader, they'd probably start infighting. After rescuing Hokutai Fright from Total, Olimar went home to his family. Oh, that's just the cutscene. I don't need that. Okay. So we saw the beady long legs thing. I think we're good. Let's go to the option screen again. What is 2-player story? On. Wait. Save settings. I'm curious what 2-player story is. Begin. Does it just start a new story? How does this work? Okay, so it just uses your regular files. It doesn't change anything crazy. There's no special stuff. It would just, I could go and I could control 2 players potentially. Which I won't, but I could. But I won't, but I could. Okay, yeah, we're done. The video's over.